really not happy about this rain, by the way. I'm getting wet as well. This was not part of the brochure. No, I know I told you it wasn't going to rain. Okay, what you need to do at some point is go into that front locker and get the towel, because I need to wipe it down already. Not yet though, in a second. So what we're going to do now is get started, because there's people watching. All right, good evening everybody, and welcome to the second night of racing for the 2020-2021 Stewart 34 Championship Series. My name is Suellen, and you are here with none other than Bradley McLaughlin, who has flown in especially from the UK tonight, from Cowes on the Isle of Wight, to be here for Stewart 34 racing. Bradley, how does it feel to be back in your hometown weather?
Well, look, Suellen, it's pretty good out here. Feels like home, as you said. Breeze is in, the tide's kicking in, and I think it's going to be a really good fun night. Okay,
so we've got a lot of wet stuff falling from the sky, which is a bit unfortunate because it has been an absolute glamour 2 weeks. And last time I think we got rain properly was on the last Monday of Stewart 34 racing. And
probably,
now, you know, it's like it knows. It's like it knows.
It knows when I'm here. Well, last time we couldn't even come out. Last time I came out to do this. So I mean, stoked that we're even on the water so far. So
well, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty stoked too. And we've got our driver here, Richard, aka Fluffy. Depends. You can call him whatever you want, basically. But he's going our driver tonight. And hey, Bradley, before we sort of get started, do you want to give us a rundown, as why we try and stay dry, of where we're at in the series?
Yeah. So tonight's night 2 of the series. Last week looked like a pretty fun one. Currently, Playboy have started out pretty strong, leading on 4 points. Close behind in second with 8 points is Passion and joint with Psyche. So I think it's going to be a really good night tonight. Hopefully see some carnage. Funny to see Prince Hal a little bit further back. They're in 4th at the moment on 10 points. So we'll be hoping for them to pull out some stops.
However, we were just given a subtle little reminder that Mark Bond is actually not steering Prince Hal this year. And we're not really sure what the translation of that might mean. However, I'm going to translate it as the reason they're not going as great is because Mark Bond isn't on the helm.
There's a little bit of bagging out the skipper there, isn't there, really?
I mean, that's a little harsh.
It's rough.
As a skipper myself who constantly gets bagged out, I know what it feels like, and it's not nice. So, Bradley, look, tell us what the breeze is going to do tonight and tell us what the tide's doing.
Yeah, so currently we've got the tide coming in till 9 o'clock. So we're up in the western side of the harbour, and it's going to be pushing the boats over the line. It's going to be quite an interesting one to see whether or not people have realised that too well and whether or not they'll keep back, but keep it quite fun. As far as the breeze goes, it's going to be around 9 to 12 knots early on, slowly dropping off and supposedly clocking back to the left, back down to the southwest. So we'll see if that happens as well, or whether or not I just don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, look, there's a very good chance of that. But Bradley, you do come with some skills, so I've been told. You've done a little bit of yachting on the TP52 Super Series circuit. So rumour has it that you know a thing or two about the sport. However, me personally, I don't think I've ever sailed with you. Have I?
You haven't.
No.
Oh
my gosh, we've never sailed together.
There we go.
You should come
Something
sailing with me
yeah.
one day. Do you want to come M-class sailing on the 22nd?
Oh, we'll see. I've got to be convinced on that one still.
So listen guys, what we're going to do tonight is there's a very good chance that you might be looking at our very attractive mugs for a little while because let's just get down there because it's a little bit wet and horrible out here and we really don't want to put the gear at too much risk because we are hoping for it to survive the entire season. But we are coming up to a 5 minute shortly.
40 seconds-ish.
40 seconds-ish away.
Not far away.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is it.
Pretty good bet. That's great. I'm pretty impressed by that.
Showdown.
Not only can he drive a boat, he can also count.
So at least someone knows how to count on this boat.
Skills. 100% skills. He's also listening to us on a delayed feed to ensure that everything comes through okay, that we've got good audio. Your visuals, I'd have to apologise in advance right now for your current visuals. But Bradley, you're actually not a bad looking dude there. You must go alright. I'm not a dude.
If you were, no.
Wow.
3, 2, 1.
So there we go. That's
I have to say, I am super impressed with the fact that you got that 5 minute.
He nailed it as well, didn't he?
You nailed it.
It's like he's
How did you do that?
This guy's something special.
I just heard it about 10 seconds later.
So look, the rain is meant to clear, but you know, pretty typical Stewart 34 fashion. It's going to be bumper boats. There's going to be a bit of breeze. There's going to be some carnage. I can see an America's Cup rig out that way. Can you see it?
I can see it.
I
Yeah.
wonder. I
They're
can't.
calling it at the right time, I reckon.
Oh,
Why
I
are we
reckon they
starting
are.
in the rain?
I don't understand why they're still out in the wet stuff though.
We shouldn't be sailing in the rain.
Sailing in the rain is silly. So anyway, we're coming up to 4 minutes for the first race. What we're going to do is going to turn the camera around because I know how much you are going to miss seeing us on screen, but sailing is way more attractive than us. Sorry guys, but here we go. So what's going to happen is we're going to stay in the back of the boat until we sort of wait, until this rain clears. 4 minutes. Until this rain clears, and then we're going to really push in and get amongst it. We've got more breeze than we had on the first day. Did you watch the first day?
I watched parts of the first day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was good to see that Pilks isn't being protested yet.
Although
So
there
I think
was
that's a
those.
strong start.
I think you asked that question.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was intrigued. Being a past Stewart 34 sailor myself, it was always interesting to see how many times Pilks would be standing outside the protest room. So
We've already done him one favour tonight as well. So he's used all of his. No, he's used all of his tokens for help tonight.
There, doesn't he?
Absolutely, and we'll be heading back to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron after racing tonight to enjoy the banter and obviously the potential protests that will be coming someone's way, usually Pilks. Bets are on to see if it's for Pilks tonight. So, hey look, Bradley, talk to me about the tide because I feel like it's pushing us away.
The tide is strong tonight. It's going to be really interesting here. It's interesting to see a few of the boats are slowly kind of keeping away from the line, but there's a lot of boats still up around this area. You know, not much longer to go now. Going to be pretty close to racking up for the line, and I'm not sure, but I reckon there could be some OCSs tonight. So we'll have to keep an eye out.
Now, Chris Steele, who was my co-commentator for the previous night's racing, and he basically talked through what he would do from a skipper's point of view. But you're normally at the pointy end of a boat, young Bradley McLaughlin from Cowes, Isle of Wight in the UK. And so tell us, as a bowman, what will you be expecting from your skipper coming into the start?
So as I said, I'd be expecting us to be holding a little bit further back, making slightly better runway, I guess. Time on distance is going to be really important, so it's going to be interesting to see the good bowman from the not so good bowman tonight. And whether or not their skippers actually listen to their bowman. So as a bowman, you'd be really looking on time on distance in your transits, but also trying to pick a good lane into the line with a good little lured gap, and be able to punch out in front early on. So it'll be interesting.
What does make a good helm then, from a bowman's point of view?
I mean, I'm sure bowman would say a helmsman that listens to them, but they don't come very often.
And how often does your helm listen to you?
Probably sometimes too much, actually. I think I've messed up more starts than Nick in our team, so probably a little bit too much. But generally, they don't tend to listen, and we just sort of sit there and look cool and pretend that we know what we're doing. So I'm sure there's a bit of that going on tonight, but we'll see. As I said, we'll see the good bowman from the not so good bowman early on, and we'll have to see what happens earlier.
1:30.
1:30 to go. So we'll see here, a few boats are starting to line up down here, coming on the right-hand side. We've got Psyche are lining up out towards the pin lay line with Playboy up to the left of them.
Yeah, and I'm looking in the completely
You're
different
in the other
direction.
But that's all good.
So as we did say, we're going to just try and keep out of this rain until it clears, just to protect the gear. So you might get a little bit of what is probably better described as radio commentary. 1 minute.
Well, as I said earlier, I've always wanted to be a radio presenter, so
well, you've got
this
the
is my
face
calling.
for it.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting here. Playboy and Psyche both out towards the pin. 50 seconds to go. It's going to start getting pretty crazy here. It'll be interesting to see if anybody does, if they do manage to slide in here on the pin or not.
Well, I mean, have a look at Passion. It's just sort of coming up and then just ducked in under the blue boat Parterre there. We're going to try and get a bit closer.
And that's Passion and Prince Howe lining up on starboard as well, so that's going to be one to look out for. It's probably quite risky getting in here on the pin, but at the moment, I reckon they're looking all right. I mean, currently Passion look like they're only just laying the start line, so I'd say Prince Howe are in quite a lot of trouble here.
Hey, now last time we were here, we had Playboy who went for the pin and did for the port hand flyer. And I mean, I don't reckon they're going to make it this time.
You don't reckn?
I don't reckon they're going to make it.
I reckon Psyche's pinned them out here, so they're going to have to go behind Psyche.
2, 1.
There we go.
And Psyche has actually nailed the start.
Oh, is it though? So there we go, there's an individual recall. So there we go, it's Psyche over the line. So there we go, their bowman's called a little bit early in the tide. Now I'd say Pilks is pretty safe where he was. He was covered by Psyche. I think he was on time, even not a little bit late.
And that's a huge disappointment for the Yellow Bite Psyche, skippered by Tom Saunders, Kiwi laser sailor vying for the Olympics. And unfortunately, He's just had to bail, and it's
Okay.
all over for them in this race.
It's all on for him. Unfortunately, in these short races, if you're over early, you're pretty cooked for the race unless you can pull for a Hail Mary. The Princess just up here, going in for attack. Racing tack here.
We've had one coming back.
Oh man, this is wet, isn't it?
This is not enjoyable.
This is wet. And just look at Playboy. They are punched. Pilks has done it again.
Now you actually never you were never coached by Pilkington, were you?
Unfortunately not, Suellen. I've heard a lot of stories, and he's a bit of a legend in the old Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron as far as the coaching goes.
Okay, we're just going to have to look at us and duck down low here, unfortunately, because we've got a lot of rain our way. So Bradley, talk us through what's going on. We currently have Playboy leading. Tell us who's in second, third, and tell us what's going on.
So what we've got currently Princess in second. They're not in a great lane though. They're kind of just up on Playboy's hip. I'd say they're going to slowly fall into Pilks' dirt. And then closely behind them we've got Prism and Pahi. And we got on board Pahi is the legend of Wilsey from North South. So they should be going pretty well tonight.
Would
Some
we
brains
say
at the back,
legend?
and we've got a. And then we're obviously not a Doyle's man, but
He's okay. He means well.
he looks alright, doesn't he? He looks like he knows what he's doing.
He does look all right. For any ladies out there, I apologise in advance to everybody.
And then we've got down to the right is Prism, who I'd say will be sailing into Princess's dirt pretty well here. And I mean, look at Psyche just punched out the back. Going to have a lot on to be able to get to the front of the fleet in this. So not a great start to the second night of racing for them.
That is a huge disappointment for the Psyche boys because boys and girls, sorry, they were going to be hoping for some better results. They had some good results on the last night's racing and they were going to hope to back it up. But you know what? Races are won and lost on the start line. Let's see if they can bring it back in.
Certainly. And look, it's only the start of the night. It should be about 3 races tonight, so hopefully they can pull it back in the next 2 for them.
Hey, Mr. Man from England, can we get rid of the rain?
I'd love to. It does look like it's clearing up though. It's slowly clearing up there.
That's what every Englishman said.
You've got to be positive about this. So it looks like Psyche have gone for the tack. They're going to go duck the whole fleet and try and punch out to the left-hand side. Up on the left here we've got Passion, who are on equal points with Psyche in the series so far. I'd say they've got quite a nice lane pushing out to the right with everybody else. I think we'll definitely see them in the top group when it comes to the top mark. If anything, definitely in the top 3 at the moment. I'd say they've got an easy cross on Prism, just tacking onto starboard now.
So just talk, for those that are first-time watchers, just talk us through the course there, Bradley.
Yeah, so the course tonight is in the sailing well Windward Lords. In Windward Lords, you've got you start like they've done. They're currently on their first leg. They're going to be sailing up to the windward mark, which is upwind of the start line. So they're going to be zigzagging all the way up, and then they're going to go around the windward mark. They're going to be putting spinnakers up. They're big spinnakers on these boats. Sailing down, and to the bottom mark is normally a gate mark, so they can choose which marks to go through. And then they're going to go back upwind to the first mark, go around that, spinnakers up again, and back down to the finish, which is by the start line again.
So a lot of up and down action.
A lot of up and down action. So it's going to be a busy night. Real short courses on these evening sprint series as well, so it's going to keep the crew real busy. It's just following behind Playboy here at the moment. Looking pretty locked in there. Going to be a hard team to beat this year, I think.
They will be a hard team to beat, and for Playboy it all does come down to crew work.
It does, 100%.
They are
team that have
fast
been together
boat.
for a long time. You've got a fast boat. You've got the legend of Pilks on the stick.
They've also got Bex Hornell on the bow there, and
Bex Hornell.
Bex is vying for a spot on the NZ Ocean Racing team to compete in the ocean race.
That's right, and she was also part of the Akarana Youth America's Cup team as well, I believe.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, couldn't go ahead because of that weird disease that's going on around the rest of the world.
Yep, she was one of the first picked in that team. Her talent is raw and real,
Yep.
and she's definitely one to watch on the world stage.
100%. Looks like they're setting up to attack here.
And they've also got young Tom Pilkington on board there, looking very staunch and serious,
Poor
taking
guy,
after his
son of Guy
father.
Pilkington.
Just be careful, their mother is watching.
Hi, Mum.
Shout out to Jane who watches.
So it looks like they're getting the pole on now, so they're happy they're on lay. That's probably about right, with the tide pushing them up towards the windward mark. Man, they've put up such a good lead so early on.
So we've had the rain clear for the moment, but we've got another front coming through. At least we've got breeze This time 2 weeks ago, we were drifting around like snails.
You'd say this is probably perfect Stewart 34 racing, isn't it, this weather?
Yeah, look, I mean, normally there'd be everybody would be a little bit closer to each other at the top mark, and we'd be having some great comms from on board the boats. A lot of swearing. It's pretty expected in this fleet.
All madness. Now, is it me, or has Guy been doing a bit of work to the bottom of his boat? You know, I've just noticed there's a nice shine to that.
He has been doing some rubbing.
I often see his boat being rubbed down on the hard stack every now and again. So
all right,
he clearly likes that.
Let's take advantage of this no rain. Let's jump forward, Bradley.
Sounds like a plan. Am I leading here?
Yeah, go. You lead the way. I'm holding on to lots of equipment. Oh my goodness.
So we're sat up here on the ley line. So you got Prince Hal coming in second place. They've done a really good job to get into there. And look at Prism really trying to make the mark. This is going to be interesting. I think fortunately the tide's taking them up, but they're going to be getting in the way of a lot of people. They technically say they're on port, so...
and that's just bad manners at this point.
I reckon they're... yeah, here we go. So that's an infringement, I'd say, on Princess. Do you reckon they touched there? Looked pretty close.
Oh, I didn't hear any yelling, so chances are it was probably above board.
I guess there's no swearing, and then it means everything's all clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just following Parteri down here. A little slow on the kite hoist. Looks like they got a little tangle in the kite and the pole, so that's going to be quite a big one to sort out.
I mean, now you as a bowman, at what point do you start throwing your toys?
Oh, I mean, I'm probably a more emotional bowman of them all, so I'd be throwing them a little bit earlier than that. But, you know, look, the good ones probably stay a little more calmer. Nice hoist there by Psyche. Great work by their bow team. Got Tom Maven on the bow. Ethan, who's Paul Groom's son, on the mast. Rips that kite up like there's no tomorrow.
So they've actually managed to crawl their way just...
Oh, man.
Fuck, we're going to have...
Psyche going for the roll here. Psyche gone for the roll on Parteri. Look at that. Oh, Parteri unhappy.
Oh, that was outstanding. Oh, look, I'm not going to say outstanding just from Psyche, but outstanding by our driver, Fluffy, who just nailed that to bring you those epic shots. I just got excited. I got a little bit fizzy.
Do you think Parteri will take butter with their roll or jam?
Well, I prefer a little bit of it. Oh, I'm not even going to say that. Moving right along. Let's go back to the sailing. We've still got a headsel that needs to come down on Parteri.
At least they've got their spinnaker up. So look, following down behind the Psyche here. Tim Snedden on the main. He's got his concentration face on.
It's nice to see that Sneddy's had a haircut this week, but he
just still needs a shave, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm no one for male grooming, but I think he definitely needs to tidy it up a little.
I think it's because you struggle to even grow a mow, don't you?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that, Suellen. Puberty will get me one day.
One day you'll be a big boy.
Not quite the man I thought I was.
So
look, I mean, Psyche. I mean, what a set and what a downwind so far. They've just got to try and get down and at least onto the ley line here, which I think they might struggle with. Their pole's gone forwards too far here. Using the cut, and Parteri finally got the rack together and charging through.
And you got Princess.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh, come on, Psyche.
Oh.
Oh, I think they're trimming. Let them down a little bit there. If they'd kept their kite full, they would have had a lovely little roll there. Hey, look, they're really trying now.
You got to remember that a laser sail is on the helm.
It's not a laser, these things, though, are they?
Definitely
They're
not.
A lot heavier than a laser.
Look at those big, colourful bags that are up as well.
Yeah.
They can get messy. They can get messy real quickly.
It can get really messy. So, and that's the thing. We, you know, not far off of the bottom mark running here, where the shit generally gets quite real. So we'll see what happens down here. But
generally
at the moment,
get quite real. I'm going to say that this is the realest shit ever.
This is real.
This is the real deal.
I think we're going to have quite a lot on with Princess and Psyche down the bottom here. Everybody else has kind of just left themselves to it and doing their own thing. But these guys are having a little match race. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here.
So now talk us through, for those that don't really understand what would go on here, what would be the best move? Who is in control?
I mean, look, the plan here is that Psyche wants to be breeze forwards on Princess, which they are. So they're going to be breeze forwards now. They just got to clear their overlap and hope that they can either jibe for the bottom mark or be able to make it on that jibe. But at the moment here, I'd say Princess just need to start sailing fast again. I think they're getting a little bit too caught up with a match race with these guys, and they've let the whole fleet through underneath them. So you know, if you look down here, we've got Pahi, Prism, Parteri, all just snuck through underneath Princess. Passion coming in here, the top three here. Good to see Prince Howard have got their act together so far.
So now we've got a gate down at the bottom mark here. Now, Bradley, at what point do you, on a bow, actually think about the right tactics you know, for going to the next upwind leg. Which mark would you pick?
I mean, look, right now the breeze is quite left face, and they're, I'd say, Playboy down there have cooked it for the ley line a little bit, and Prince Hal and Passion are getting in pretty nicely there. Now I'd be looking for the right turn here. Tide's taking you back up, clearly a left shift.
And it also looks like that mark as well that Prince Hal and Passion are heading to does look like it's favoured. It's definitely
100%.
bigger.
Yeah.
So what do you think Guy Pilkington was thinking at this stage? Going, they're going to go to that mark, I'm going to stay clear and go to that mark, or do you reckon he's just had one?
Oh, I mean, it's a tough one, because I'm not sure about you, but I think that it's big favour on that right hand turn. So you know, Pilks has got to think: do I want to go and sail clear air, and be the wrong side of it, or do I want to go around with these guys and maybe lead the tack and hopefully get a clear lane?
Okay, well, guess what? He's put his headsail up, and you know what that means. You know what that means?
Yeah.
He's going to drop and go around this mark as well.
I mean, right now it looks like he's punched out on the Prince Hal, though. It looks like he climbed high just at the right time. Passion have gone for their jib up. Probably a little early to go for your jib up. The tide's pushing you away from the mark, remember?
But the breeze is also meant to swing, like you talked
100%.
about.
And I think that's what we're starting to get here. Gone really light as well behind this rain cloud. So Passion struggling to keep their kite set there. Here we go, not far off this bottom mark. I expect Playboy to see, it's going to be quite a tough drop for the bow team on Playboy, quite heated up. They're big old kites to pull down when you're reaching like that, so Paul Bex is going to have a bit of work on.
There is a lot of sail area on these boats.
100%. And no guardrails to lean against either, so we might even see someone swimming if we're lucky.
No fishing tonight, we've already eaten our prawns.
Yeah.
This way is Passion.
Well,
They were great prawns. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I tell you what,
Passion's drop here.
sometimes our driver makes me a little bit nervous, but look at that.
He's getting us up close, all right.
I tell you what, he really does. I feel like I can see the whites of their eyes.
Nice drop there from Passion's bow team.
I feel I can smell their breath too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's turn around and watch the action here.
So Playboy have gone round for the early tack.
Oh.
Looks like Prince Hal are going to be finding their lane and attacking pretty soon as well.
I tell you what though, Psyche, you know, from DFL at the start to now going around this mark in fourth.
Yeah, they've done all right there.
It's a great comeback.
I don't know, have they played their Jesus card a little early, Suellen? Looks like they've been doing some praying there.
I tell you what, my camera work is a bit sloppy tonight. Oh, there's a little bit of commentary.
What happened to Part Harry? They went round in bloody third or fourth, didn't they? Look at them.
Part Terry, I think they were just trying to blame Playboy for their issue.
They've gone from the king of the house to the shit house there, right?
Oh, there's a protest, I think. Oh my goodness, here we go. Well, I reckon that was the comms to Playboy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, are they smoking something? Because Playboy are a long way ahead of them, and I'm not sure at what point they were that close.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I guess the replay from the live feed might be able to provide something.
100%.
However, did we get it? We have been asked to provide evidence of protests in the past, and conveniently I've gone, I have no idea what you're talking about.
How many beers do you charge to provide evidence?
Mate, so many. Fully charged up every time we go yachting.
Oh, look. Slightly more conservative drops. I'd say Prism are having one here on the bottom mark. They might even wrap it. They're struggling to make that at the the moment. Maybe dropped a little early.
Oh no, they didn't. They didn't do an EJ.
They didn't do an EJ.
Now, when we say EJ, we're referring to the world-renowned match racer Nick Egnott Johnson, who has a thing for giving the top marks a bit of touchy, feely.
I think he's ranked number 2 in the world match racing rankings, but he can't pick a ley line to save his life.
Oh, but he's also ranked number 1 in picking up top marks.
Making his bowman and the owner swim for them as well.
What a great night to be out, you know?
It's great the rain's passed away.
Yeah, okay.
Just about anyway.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, I mean, what would you much rather be doing on a Monday night? I mean, Stewart 34 racing or watching, I don't know, The Block or some rubbish?
What's the one that you like? The farmer finds a wife?
Farmer finds a wife or something. That was
No, I think that comes a close second to Stewart 34 racing at the moment.
Nothing compares to the Stewart 34 Championship Series. The class is now 60 years young. These boats, they might be old, but they are maintained in immaculate condition. The owners of these boats absolutely love them. They race them, they cruise them, they shorthand them. They basically do everything. They even can cook a chicken roast on board.
That's excellent, isn't it? And let's be real, you can't bash the carbon fibre race boat around like you can bash one of these things around.
Absolutely not. These are bumper boats at their best. They love a little touchy-touchy, that's for sure.
That's what makes it fun though, Suellen.
Now I tell you what though, Bradley, you've sailed Stewart 34s, I've sailed Stewart 34s. I have to say they're one of the coolest boats to sail. If anybody is watching this footage and is absolutely in awe of what you're seeing, what you need to do is get onto the Stewart 34 Facebook page and contact them, or just get in touch with us at Live Sail Die. We'll put you in touch with the team from the Stewart 34s, and you could be out here getting filmed like these guys and having shit talked about you by this guy.
I love you all, really.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, just get in touch if you want to get involved. Right, let's make our way up to the top mark. So also, Bradley, we need to do a bit of a shout out. We've got some fans watching from isolation.
Oh, no way. Who have we got in isolation?
We've got Gavin Brady, who is in isolation at M Social in town. I swear I saw his face pushed against the glass when I drove past earlier.
That's the Bosch one though, isn't it?
That
So
is
he's
the
living
Bosch
at large.
We've also got Benny Butcher, who's in isolation in Christchurch. And we've also got none other than fanboy, #1 fanboy himself, all the way from Long Beach, California, Scotty Dixon, who has flown into New Zealand so that he can come and commentate.
You're kidding.
He can come and commentate
So you're replacing me already.
34 days with his dad, who is also a Stewart 34 legend, Roy Dixon.
Well, look, it's going to be great to have Scotty out of isolation and back on these great boats. And I think as well, we can't forget Scotty is the currently the defending second place in the Congressional Cup, Suellen.
Yeah, he's actually alright, isn't he?
He goes alright in a match racing boat, and he goes alright in those big heavy things. So I reckon a Stewart 34 is perfect for the guy.
Right up his alley. Now he'll probably jump on board Playboy, because that is the boat that his dad Roy used to own.
And it's a boat that's still going pretty strong now, we can see.
Yes, however, from what we know though, the intel that we have gathered is that Parteri, the blue boat, has waved their red shiny flag at Playboy. Are we surprised? Not at all.
Not at all. So there we go. This could be Playboy's first protest of the 2020 season. Going for the hoist here.
Oh, I got a little bit of wetness from that.
No specialist, Suellen, but quite an early hoist. As we can see, they're struggling to get it to the top. Just blew out a little bit too quickly there.
Yeah, but
they
come
got it
on.
up there, though,
I'm sorry, you cannot fault. You cannot fault that hoist. That was exceptional.
Look at the lead though; they're still miles ahead, which is awesome. It's good to see that Prince Haller finally got their act together and back up the front of the fleet as well.
Yeah, Mark Bond watching from home, probably a little bit in awe right now, probably calling tactics from his couch. That's where the best tactics are called.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
At least you stay dry and warm there as well, and you can sit with a nice beer and relax a bit.
Which I hope all of our viewers are doing. Unlike us, we're out here in the elements watching Passion, who is currently in third. Race 4 of the series. Passion coming around in third.
Now this is yacht racing at its finest, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's only one thing better than this, but we all know I'm a tad biased.
Oh yeah, no, I'm disagreeing with you right there, Suellen.
But you've never done it. You've never experienced.
What, skateboarding?
Oh my gosh. Okay, for those that are watching, and I'm an avid M-Class fan, if you don't know what they are, just go M-Class Yachts on Facebook. Or just follow us.
Look, Suellen, they are a beautiful boat to look at.
But
and the varnishing looks great.
But tonight it's all about Stewart 34s.
You can't have a paint job like this in an M-Class, Suellen.
Absolutely
and
not.
Here comes the Psyche with its bright yellow paint job. Nice pre-sneak on the bow there.
I also like that the yellow boat has a yellow Hyundai Spinnaker as well.
Oh, 100%.
It's matchy-matchy.
Quite a big fleet split here.
Now, what would you put a fleet split down to, Bradley? Skipper work or bow work?
Oh, I mean, it's a tough one, Suellen. It could be down to the fact that there's probably not as many passing lanes with the breeze further left and the tide ripping you up.
A little bit of a soldier's course, you reckon?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a soldier's course. There's nobody's jibing at the moment, so this is currently a lay-through for the finish. I mean, look, it's, as you saw, a couple boats went to the left-hand turn, and one of them being Prism, which has lost out massively on that, I think. Prism and Parteri taking up the rear here. There's a few twists behind us as well. So a few shoddy hoists behind us. I'll get out your view so you can see it.
Oh no, that's a flavourless wine glass right there.
Give them a bottle of wine, eh?
I mean, seriously, if you're going to have a wine glass, at least make it red.
Yeah, come on, no good here.
This is terrible.
So this is going to be quite on here. It's going to be interesting to see what Princess do here below Pahi.
Yeah, at this point, Mark Taylor, who's on the helm of Pahi, I reckon he's going to be a little bit upset.
He's having one a little bit there. There we go, someone's grabbing it now. Is it going to be a drop and rehoist though? That's the big question.
How frustrating is it when you get a wine glass, Bradley? I mean, you've probably experienced a few.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's a tough one.
Have you ever cried on bow?
Well, I think I've cried on a Stewart 34 bow. I'm sure when Paul Groom watches this one back, he's probably seen me cry. Oh no, we've got Prism. Prism Sky Halliard has just dropped. The big thing is, how they dropped it under the bow. If they've done that, then they've gone for a shrink wrap and sending it on a ship somewhere.
I tell you what, the prawns are pretty tasty at the moment, so if they get any,
oh yeah,
we'll head over.
Send them over to Swashies.
And Pahi has dropped their kite and rehoist, hoping that that wine glass comes out. Last thing they want to do though is run over it. They've recovered.
Heaps on here, eh?
But they have lost a spot to Princess, and they're going to probably lose a spot to Prisman, who's just going to slide in underneath.
Easy.
Alrighty.
You've got the big hydraulic spinnaker coming down with Parteri as well. They've got a good rumble.
All right, shall we head up to the finish line?
Going from the yeah, we should. Yeah, going from the. I was in my little word on my own there. Well, look, it looks like the breeze is going a little bit light here. There's a massive fleet split between the fourth and fifth. Princess behind Psyche. Looks like there's a good battle going on down the back of the fleet, so it's going to be interesting just to see their finish alone. I think that's the great thing about the Stewart 34s, is that no matter where they are, there's always a good race going on.
So tell us about the results that we've got at the pointy end.
So, coming down the bottom of the track here, we're coming up to Psyche, who are in fourth. So they made a good comeback from the start. Going past Psyche, we've got Passion. So these guys, don't forget, are on equal points. They're on joint eight points. So Passion are going to go one up on them there. Next up is Prince Hal. So they were 2 points behind Psyche. So they've crawled it back and they're back into the running. But I mean, out in front, you can't beat it. Is Guy Pilkington on Playboy, and he's just punched. He's absolutely launched. But obvious, we don't know whether or not he's being protested yet. So tune in later on and we'll find out about that one. But so far, he's going for the win here, and it's a straight lay through for the finish. So a little less carnage with the straight lay through, a few less jibes. Prince Hal here. Another one.
Oh,
Crikey.
Two pretty red flags. That's going to make the evening interesting at the bar.
Look, I've noticed that Prince Hal's red flag is slightly faded. Is that because they use it a lot?
Potentially, yeah. Usually against Playboy.
Yeah, right. Still, I don't know how people are protesting Playboy with the start and the race they've had. I didn't think anyone could touch them.
You know what, actually that's a good point, to be honest. Maybe Prince Hal is having a little chumbawamba with someone else.
Yeah, maybe. That or they've just got some sort of lover's tiff with Guy. Who knows?
Yeah. That's potential. So Playboy is just about to cross the finish line. Mate, that tide is pumping in.
It's ripping, isn't it? It's making these downwinds silly long and the upwinds really short.
I mean, but that's good though, because no one likes going upwind.
No, exactly.
Upwind is like reading a textbook. Downwind is like checking for the
on.
answers.
Yeah. Turn the engine on a motor up, drag race home, right? Well, the main thing as well, Suellen, is the rain has passed.
Well, I mean, that's outstanding news. Do we get rid of our umbrella?
Well, I mean, we could do. I mean, I've got wet shorts already, so who knows? Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful boats on the water. That's traditional monohull racing if you hadn't seen it before.
You say shit like that when you run out of words, don't you?
100%.
And look at that front. You can see the Sky Tower. The back of that front, they're just going over the city, leaving us alone. Thank goodness. We might actually get a little bit of... I'm just going to point this out here, Bradley. See that little dark cloud just there?
What do you reckon?
I reckon that's going to give us a nice little pump.
Fingers crossed. A little bit of lefty.
Hey, okay, smile for your dad.
Hi, Dad.
Wave.
Hi, Mum. Just here talking about things I don't know much about. So, yeah. Night 2 of the Stewart 34s. So far, it's started out pretty well. Solid effort from Pilks. Solid effort from Prince Hal.
And solid effort from our boat driver.
Look at that. He's got us in some tight spots there, isn't he?
He's done well. He scared the crap out of me a couple of times.
I trusted him.
There's the amazing volunteer team.
The brilliant race committee from the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron.
Dealing with the elements week in, week out for sailing. They do a fantastic job. So shout out to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron on water team.
If that's not commitment, then what is?
I mean, seriously. We actually, you know what? We should take a moment at this point to thank all the volunteers who help with on-water sailing.
100%.
I mean, without them,
we wouldn't have it.
no, we'd just be just a bunch of weirdos just doing rounding marks.
Yeah, we'll be sat in the bar and everyone will have a big tum. So coming up to race 1 winners here, Playboy.
Hey, Guy. There's a couple of red flags flying. Do you know anything about that?
So Guy Pilkington, not sure on why there's any red flags at him. I'm sure he'll find out soon.
It looked like they flew the flag quite late.
Or just repeat that one for them.
So Guy Pilkington is saying it might be Parteri, but he reckons they flew the flag a little bit too late. So look, if we've got any umpires watching, then we'd love to know what you thought. But I mean, we couldn't work out what they did wrong, to be honest, because they were punched. But let's not big Guy up too much just yet.
So just pass on that message to Jane Pilkington from Young Tom.
Young Tom says hi, Mum.
Make me some
He
dinner.
looks like he's behaving himself. How we doing? All good? Nice start to the day.
Yeah.
All right, let's head back to the fleet.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah.
All right, let's head back to the fleet. I think it's at this point we should probably, you know how that thing we talked about sharing what's going on?
Oh, we should, shouldn't we?
Do you want to, talk to your friends in the UK?
Yeah. So all my friends in the UK, I hope you're all well. Lockdown number 2, I think it is. Tune in. I'm going to share my the Live Sail Die post. It's is it Monday morning there?
I have no idea.
Monday morning. Yeah,
Monday morning where?
Start of the week. I reckon there's no better way of eating your breakfast watching the Stewart 34s racing. It's not bad.
Okay, so that was race 4 of the evening. Now, how good is your maths? Can you do some calculations in your head?
Oh, come on, Suellen, don't make me do this.
I didn't ask you to write an English essay.
I'd say Playboy are obviously out ahead on 5 points now. Prince Hal was second. Is that right? Prince Hal was second. We've got Psyche here with Tim Snedden just emptying out the tanks. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, Psyche had a pretty bad one there. I'd say I'm no specialist. I'm no mathematician. I can't even say it. But I'd say that Prince Hal would be equal points with Psyche now. Oh, I can't do the maths. You do the maths, Suellen.
What? I'm not even listening to you.
I don't think anyone is.
Shit on the bar.
Yeah. And we got the last boats coming through here. Interesting that the boat that's come through at the back of the fleet is protesting the boat at the front of the fleet.
Oh well,
It'd be interesting to find out what happened there.
You've got to give it a go.
Well, exactly. Maybe they didn't think that Playboy had the cross on the start. Is the only thing I can really think of. But whatever happened, they went from hero to zero pretty quick.
Hey, just got a message here that we need to read out to the fans out there. This one is from our #1 fanboy, stuck in isolation in Christchurch, Scotty Dixon. You guys are too funny. Love it. Highlight of my day.
Just a couple of idiots with microphones, I thought, Suellen.
Isn't that great? Highlight of my day. Not highlight of my 2 weeks in isolation, just highlight of my day.
I hope he likes it. You can just watch it on repeat every day. Oh, here we've got Parteri sorting themselves out now.
Still got a red flag. Do you want to ask him what it's about?
What's the red flag for, Parteri? Oh, well, you tell us. I must admit, it's a very clean looking one. Is it new? Is it new? There we go, Parteri, first fly of their red flag.
So
they reckon it was on the start line. So I guess wait and see. But I mean, it was close, that's for sure. But I don't think Pilks infringed anybody there. So, but I've not got the best eyesight, so we'll see.
So you don't have the best eyesight yet. You're a bowman. Just talk me through how that works.
Fake it till you make it, Suellen.
And no more comment.
I mean, look, it's going to be interesting. Pilks reckons they've dropped the start line back now, dropped the pin end back, so it'll be a little bit harder to pull off the pin end start. Probably have to rack up a little more. It looked like they were struggling to lay on starboard, so hopefully that makes the start line a little more even. But I mean, look, the tide is absolutely ripping here. So it looks like they're lining up, having a little look at the line again now, giving Bex a chance to get her transits.
So Bradley, it's a pretty nice hat that you got on there.
Thanks, Suellen. It's good, isn't it?
I think it looks better on you than it does on me.
I think we still need to find out though, the old sticker on or sticker off.
Yeah, actually that's a really good question. So for anybody out there who is like semi-cool, so not us, when you get hats with the sticker, show us the sticker, do you leave it on or do you take it off? I think this is a really solid question that needs to be asked. And are we into the flat peaks or are we into the trucker hat that Lovey's got on there? I'd really like to know your opinion on this very serious matter on a Monday night here while we while we wait for the next race of the Stewart 34 Championship Series. So enough of us. But look, seriously though, it's very important. Do you like the flat peaks or do you like the trucker hat? Sticker on or sticker off? Leave your thoughts in the comment. And a massive shout out. I actually felt a little bit awkward.
Do you?
With all that.
Why?
Oh, you know, a little self-promotion's not really our thing, you know.
Well, look, I'll do it. If you want one, you got to hit up the Live Sell Die webpage
I should order some more, hey.
and order one, because otherwise Suellen won't order anymore.
Look at that front there. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, and you're right, Suellen. That cloud up there's pulled a bit of breeze in.
It has. It's sucked it in and it's spitting it out the other side.
100%.
Now we are just waiting for the course to be relayed because of that shift there. Eric Haig has said that he wants a hat. 5 minutes. Did we get that?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure if the viewers heard that, but that was our 5-minute gun or horn here at the Stewart 34 Owners Series, night number 2. Playboy going for their jib up. Looks like things are going to get funky on that. Pahi a little bit late on the jib up, but you know, whatever floats your boat.
So this is race 5 of the series, second race of the night.
Glad you're keeping count.
And where are we?
We're in the Western Harbour, Western Waitemata. Is that right?
Waitemata. We have Josh Weejon on board.
Josh
He
Weejon.
actually
Yeah.
says it properly, and he says it's the Waitemata.
Sorry, I'm trying.
I try too. I try regularly.
Yeah, an Aussie and a Brit commentating in Auckland.
In Auckland.
What
could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Well, look, it's as we've said, it's a great breeze here. The rain's gone away. We've got the no extras division coming down now. It looks like a close race there.
Can I just tighten that up?
Yep.
4 minutes until the start of race 5 of the evening. Bradley does some maintenance there just to make sure that we're all good to go before the next race. Not only do you come on board to co-commentate, you also come on board to make sure that we're always safe and good and dry. And there is the No Extras fleet, as Bradley mentioned, coming down the harbour to their finish as the main fleet, the A division, comes into their... How long have they got to go now? 3.5 minutes to go. So like we said, if you want to get involved in Stewart 34 racing, just get yourself a Stewart 34. You don't have to fly a Spinnaker because there is the No Extras division as well, which I reckon that looks a little bit chilled and relaxed. Imagine being a bowman with no extras.
Oh, I know, 100%.
Actually, a little bit of a shout out to this boat here, Pelagian. We've got Kurt Boyle on the helm. Kurt, good work. Kurt did the round North Island race, two-handed race with his co-skipper on that boat. So Stewart 34s can race around the North Island, they can race around New Zealand, they can cruise, they can do Sands Triple Series races, they can do Enduro races, they can do the Coastal, they can do the Gold Cup, they can do the Stewart 34 Championship Series, Wednesday night racing, Friday night. Oh my gosh, you know what? I think I should get a Stewart 34.
You should. I think a Stewart 34 is the boat for you, Suellen. Cruising. I heard they have a fridge as well.
And an oven and a loo.
And a loo. Double bunks.
They've got creature comforts.
Can't beat it.
Shout out from your boss. Pretty impressed with the you know, good work there, Bradley. I think you just got yourself a pay rise. Not from me, but from Tiny. Okay, so how long have we got to go now?
2:10.
2:10.
2:10. Pin end or boat end this time, Suellen?
Ooh, pin end or boat end. Let's just go above the line.
What, above?
Yeah, let's go above and see them all come in. And then just get ready to bail. That's our tactic.
Get in, get out.
Get in.
Bish, bash, bosh. Bish, bash, bosh. No, look, I think this is going to be an even closer one now. Everybody's clocked on to the pit end start.
So now the start line has been changed as well, so we're not going to see the bias that we saw last time, which means that Playboy are not down at the port end. They're sticking more towards the boat at this stage, but we've still got about just under 2 minutes to go.
Interesting though, it looks like Psyche are coming in on the port end at the moment. Whether or not they're just late for to find a lane on starboard, or if they haven't realised that the bias has changed.
Well,
but,
just remember as well that the tide is still ripping through here. So
if not stronger.
Whilst they are such a long way back from the line, it's not going to take them long to get up here. However, I reckon they're going to be late.
You're calling it.
I'm going to
Suellen
call it.
reckons they'll be late. Okay.
I'm going to put some
You put in some money
something
down.
behind it. That was a
There
little
we go.
loud.
That was 1 minute.
You're never going to miss that sound signal, are you?
No, 100%.
I think my eardrums just burst.
Yeah. So 1 minute to go. I'd say Pilks is slightly above lay right now. The tide ripping him up.
This could be dangerous where we are right now, so I'm going to buckle on and hold on tight.
I mean, I think right now that Pilks is quite safe. The next boat's down to leeward, miles down the line. 40 seconds to go. It looks like he's got Pahi down to.
Oh, have a look at Princess just doing a nice little manoeuvre in
sticking
here.
it in a hole that doesn't exist there, aren't they?
Well, it exists. You could park several trucks in there. Look at the
This is
action
gonna be
going on down
interesting.
here.
I mean, look, Parteri going for another protest. So I guess they want to check out the new protest flag again. Princess completely having one here.
No, there's no interference.
Oh, there we go. They've rolled round. Princess are going to have should have a clear start.
Passion.
Are close though.
Oh,
I'd say.
Passion's
I'd
over.
There we go. I'd say Passion. So there we go. That was Passion over the start line.
Yeah, Passion is over. We've got the sound signal that's just been done. Passion having to go back. I wonder if they can have a good recovery like Psyche had when they were over the line.
I mean, look, I think that's great news for the Psyche guys who came into the night equal points with them. Good to see the two boats on equal points have both had bad starts at least once tonight. Prism think they're over. I'm not sure Prism were over.
I don't
personally.
reckon Prism over was L.
Hey.
I mean, let's just have a look at the instant replay. Oh, wait a second. We can't do that.
Don't quite have the budget for that one yet. But look at that. I mean, Passion miles back.
You know what? I actually reckon Passion's going to go okay out of this.
You
They're
reckon?
starting off on a clear lane. They don't
Yeah.
have any dirty air from Parky because they're just a little bit
Yeah.
above, out of there.
I mean, look, they're not
Rubbish.
they're not much worse off than Psyche at the moment.
And just like I predicted, that little front that came through has just sucked that breeze, and we've
100%.
actually had the breeze increase by about 8 to 10 knots off the start line. Now that's the kind of tactics that you expect to be called, Bradley.
Oh, for sure. There we go. And interesting to see again as well, Prince Hal and Playboy having a good little tussle at the top there. They've gone left. I mean, I'd say they've gone the right way right now. The breeze has pulled left and built. Right now, I'm putting those two at the top of the mark together, unless some righty out of nowhere comes.
Well, I mean, you're right. That's where the breeze is on the left-hand side of the course. So, I mean,
Time will tell.
yeah, I'd call it. I would have gone left.
100%.
I mean, I probably would have been forced right and come up with some excuse on why I ended up there.
Oh, exactly. But hey, you can't always have it.
Oh, nice little argy-bargy
Yeah.
that's just gone on there with Playboy and Prince Hal. Prince Hal getting forced to tack off.
Very nice one there.
So that's a nice little cheeky manoeuvre by Guy Pilkington.
And I'd say that Prince Hal don't have a whole heap of left-hand side track to go towards.
Ooh,
I mean,
little-
once they get that jib on.
This is interesting. Oh, you've seen it from a distance in the little screen.
There we go. Prince Hal and Parteri having another tussle. Prince Hal are loving protesting at the moment, and I think they might be taking over Pilks' record on how many protests a season this year. Here we are following Princess here. Got the legend of Bill Faulkner in the pit.
Now that man's been sailing Stewart 34s for, I don't know what, close to 50 years?
A long time before I was born, that's for sure, Suellen.
Before you were even a thought in Ma and Pa's mind.
100%. But look, he clearly keeps it going around, keeps the world going around on that boat, and he's still coming here, still coming back strong.
Although what I find interesting is that it is full hiking moment and the biggest guy's standing in the pit.
Yeah, that's I'm not quite sure on that one. Maybe he's convinced them that it's better to
They've
have his
also
weight
got
in the
another
middle.
guy down to leeward.
Yeah. Well, hiking's overrated, so
You know, it really is. I hiked for the first time last week and I think I recovered on Thursday.
yeah, we don't need that in our lives, do we? Yeah, Passion there, coming back out to the left-hand side of the track.
See, now, like I said, I reckon Passion's done all right because they got to clear air. Now they're heading back over the favoured side of the course.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a hard one to come back on. I think unless that windward mark's been pulled around to the left a little bit more, there's not much lane downwind to make any gains. I think it's going to be interesting. I know Passion have got the boat speed and they've been sailing well the last couple of years, so they've got the tools to do it. We're up nice and close here. Look at the sail shape there, Suellen.
Did you just say to me, look at the sail shape? I'm struggling to hold on. Oh, it looks pretty good. Let's just go and have a look out there.
There we go, they're looking pretty solid.
Oh yeah?
Weights on the rail.
So I guess anyone who likes looking at sail shape, what do you reckon? Does that look alright? Oh yeah? That goes okay.
For all those geeks out there. We got Partetti coming in on port here. Passion just crossing them. Are Passion going to dump them? Or are they going to keep going? It looks like they're going to keep going.
Yeah, well they are still heading out to that favoured side. This is where... Oh, for crying out loud. I'm a little bit uncomfortable right about now.
Yeah. It's got wet there, eh?
Did you? Was it good?
Oh, not the best. A bit cold.
We did talk about putting wet weather gear on before we started today. We both vetoed that idea.
No rain though, eh? Well, look, it looks like they have moved the windward mark. I can see the, yeah, here we go. We just found the windward mark here. So they have moved it slightly more around to the left. I reckon they've made the course a little longer.
And I reckon, I'm still calling it. I still reckon Passion's going to go okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a bit touch and go, isn't it?
If they get any more lefty, I'd say they are almost tacking and crossing on Psyche here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what went wrong for Psyche. Did they push too far over to the right? Or are they having boat speed issues? You know, I know they've got the legend of Tim Snedden trimming the main.
And the legend of Thomas Saunders on the stick.
And the legend of Tom Saunders on the stick. So, you know, look, it's
just legends in this entire fleet.
Oh yeah, it's madness, isn't it?
I mean, the thing about Stewart 34 sailing, it's pretty grunty, so I reckon everyone's a legend who sails these boats.
Well, look, there's nothing, as we said, there's nothing better to do on a Monday night but watch it. But I guess sailing in it is tops it off, doesn't it?
Yeah, you did sail in it last season, but conveniently or interestingly, you didn't make the cut this year. Is there any reason for that?
Oh, I think I got eased. You know, too emotional, as he said.
Too emotional on the bow?
Looks like they're going just fine without me though. There we go, Passion have gone for the tack now, just before the port lay. They're looking pretty strong here. I mean, Playboy and Prince Hal are punched out on the fleet. Playboy with a nice lead here. With a tidy set, they'll be pushing forwards pretty well.
Don't you just love the sound that boats make? You probably, and I mean,
boat noises.
Viewers at home probably can't hear it, but my gosh, it sounds good.
Sort of sounds like an old man's fart.
Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Thank you for that.
I see Psyche have gone pretty early on the sneak. Got their brace out, got the head out. Calling for a wait up here.
2-1 hoist from Tom Maidment there.
Yeah, there we go. Keep pulling. Keep pulling.
Bradley McLaughlin, calm down.
We got Princess coming in here in 5th place. So they ended up going all right, I guess. Still a bit of a fleet split behind Psyche and Princess though. Nice hoist though.
Hang on a second. So I called it, didn't I? I called it that Passion was going to recover nicely.
You did.
And let's just have a look here. Passion is just about to get rolled by Psyche, but we still called it though. Thank goodness, I've still got some tactics in me. I actually thought I was quite rubbish after last time I went sailing.
You should make a comeback, Suellen.
Oh, I think I've reached my peak.
Well, no, look, that was a really tidy hoist from the Princess there. They've got some good pace on. Passion, you have to keep a watchful eye out here. The Psyche have gone for the roll quite easy here, and Princess are slowly creeping into the back of them.
So this is the second race of the night of the 2020-2021 Stewart 34 Championship Series, hosted by the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. If you like what you see here and you want to get involved in Stewart 34 racing, get in touch with us at the Live Sail Die team or directly with the Stewart 34 Owners Association on Facebook. We'll hook you up, we'll get you out here, and we'll make you world famous in New Zealand and on the Live Sail Die live stream.
Scotty Dixon will be your biggest fan.
Mate, Scotty Dixon is absolutely frothing to get back out.
Loves it, eh? Loves it. Well, it looks like a nice bit of breeze coming down the track again here. Still quite a lot of starboard in this. You got the first couple boats that started to jibe onto port now. You got Prince Hal jibes out. I think they're going to try and go for the roll on Playboy. Psyche and Passion slowly bringing up the rear. They didn't quite get the full roll on, did they?
They didn't. They could have easily done the full roll there, but now Passion is in control of Psyche's moves.
This is it. Passion are going to be the ones that lead the jibe here. It's all up to them.
I get quite excited when I know a little bit about sailing, hey? Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. You just hear what they say in the bar. And
well, that's what I do too.
Yeah,
or you hear what others say, like, you know, when they do that, you know, post-racing and they use their hands to, like, you know, talk about what happened on the day.
Yeah. So there we go. Passion have led the jibe away from Psyche. Will Princess jibe with Passion, or will they carry on with the Psyche?
I reckon if I was Princess, I'd go.
Yeah, you're not far out of it here, eh? It looks like they've...
I reckon Psyche's probably gone a little bit too far, but the other thing as well, remember that the tide is pushing these guys away from the bottom mark. Yep, I just fell down. Is pushing the fleet away from the bottom mark, right?
Not the best jibe off the Princess, maybe a little bit camera shy there.
Forgot.
But look, they're getting their kite going now. Pole's coming back.
Everyone loves
Terry coming up behind them here.
Oh my gosh, the sun's out.
You wouldn't ride it.
I mean, this is like 12 seasons in a day.
Madness, isn't it?
Yeah, just like your hometown.
Now, back on the sunny Isle of Wight, it's always sunny. Weather's always great.
When you and I have something in common there, that's where my papa's from.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I think you could be right there with Psyche Suellen.
Yeah, I reckon they left it a bit too late. However, actually, no. Well, I don't know. Because, let's just talk about this. These guys over here, right, over here, they're all going to have to do another job. Well, sorry, these two, the blue boat, and so Playboy and Prince Hal, they're going to have to jibe again. Princess and Passion are going to be able to sort of soak into the mark. Yeah. Whereas Psyche can heat it up into the mark. So maybe I was completely wrong.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's hard to know with this tide at the moment. Psyche are definitely reaching there, which is... I mean, you know, ideally, I guess you go halfway between the two and you've done well, but...
So you reckon Passion and Princess?
Yeah, it's going to be... it just depends whether or not Prince Hal and Playboy stop trying to kiss each other.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, they've gone full poles back. On the Playboy and the Prince Hal, they're fully pole back. And then over on the Psyche, they're pole forward. Yeah. So we're talking about two different games that we're playing right now.
It's hard to know at the moment, isn't it? It's nice to see those courses squared up again, though.
Absolutely. I reckon I'd want to be Passion right about now.
Yeah.
So that Passion's that boat there.
3-5-3.
So like we've said, Playboy's just jibed. Prince Hal's not going to be far after them, I don't reckon.
No, I think you're right there. I mean, Playboy look like they're laying there, and they look like they're crossing Passion right now. I mean, if Passion can soak into this, they're doing well. It'd be interesting to see what mark they choose this time around with the course slightly more squared up.
I mean, as bowman, do you prefer less jibes?
Oh. That's a silly question, Suellen.
That's just like if you're a chef, do you like people to like your food? Well, hello.
Does the bear shit in the woods?
Quietly, they do.
Yeah.
Because you usually can't hear them. Anyway, so this is Passion. They've now gone pole back as well.
It looks like they're comfortably laying there.
I reckon they're okay.
I think they're looking pretty sharp here.
Psyche is going to be the one to watch, though.
I mean, look, if Psyche come in strong here with an overlap, they're in a pretty good spot if they want the right-hand turn. I mean, at the moment, the Psyche has an overlap on Passion, so they've got advantage at the moment. I mean, Playboy and Prince Hal have punched out ahead quite nicely. I was getting a little nervous there. It looked like they were going to try and match race each other a little too hard and let the whole fleet come up back into them. So
yeah, they just can't get. They can't let go. It's like they're magnets. I've said this before, and it's like they're just connected to each other.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes boats are just in love, and it happens.
Well, that clearly is love, isn't it? You know.
Playboy and Prince Hal.
Playboy subscription.
And Passion is bringing it up on the inside.
Madness,
but there's always going to be a Psyche one out there.
And there's always a Psyche one out there.
Psycho or Psyche. Okay, so interesting what's happened. Right? Sure, let's just go back to it now. Because Playboy has gone around. These guys are going to split at this mark. You reckon?
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it? And I mean, it looks like two very early drops there by Playboy and Prince Hal. Could have left a little later.
Ooh, they're both sort of going around to those marks at the same time. This
Looks
is
like
an
a
interesting
separation
split.
anxiety there, doesn't it?
Prince, absolutely, that's a really good way of putting it. But I reckon Prince Hal's recovered out of that a lot better. They've got a nice little bit of puff that came out, and Playboy stalled at their rounding.
100%.
Psyche is going to follow Playboy. Passion's going to follow Prince Hal. And Princess, I reckon, is also going to follow Passion. And then coming down here, we've got Pahi and Parteri.
I mean, look, I'm no specialist, Suellen, but I think the left-hand turn is favoured at the moment.
I just can't get over this tide. Seriously, it's insane.
Oh, which side? What do you reckon? Do we follow Prince Hal?
Ooh.
This is tough.
I reckon we follow Prince Hal. We've given enough attention to Playboy tonight.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Quite a late drop there from Passion.
And
I guess
also,
Thomas Rutter
look
on
at
the
this
bow there,
Princess
ripping it
here.
down.
Also a late drop from...
Yeah.
Oh no, it's dropped, sorry. That's just their
He's
massive
just
Genoa.
yeah.
Overlapping number
I think
one.
not the best rounding though. You know, look, they're coming in pretty wide here.
Yeah, Pahi's going to
I think
sneak in. Look at that. That's
Pahi are going to be
beautiful
squeezing in there
classic
quite
move.
nicely.
Okay. Again, we're only up to race 2. My wrist is getting really sore.
Oh no, is it? You told me you had strong arms.
Anyway, coming in here now as I struggle to find my footing. We've got Pahi in centre stage, and then just coming through here now is Princess. So beautiful manoeuvre by Pahi at that mark. Princess just left a whole 9 yards open, and Pahi managed to sneak in.
I mean, look at that. Pahi are just rock and rolling over the top of Princess here.
Just like to point out that Richard gets our feed delayed and often just cracks up in giggles. I don't know why.
Very shiny looking sails on board Princess today.
They do look pretty new, don't they?
Have they done pretty serious this year and got a fresh suit of sails for the season?
And they're beautiful Doyle sails as well. Oh, getting ready for attack.
Oh, here we go. Front row seats for Princess's tack. Let's be rating that. Well, Bill Faulkner doesn't look too impressed with it.
No, he did give a bit of a bad look there, didn't he?
The fella grinding it on though, he's definitely getting down and dirty to it.
I reckon he's done the hark and grinding challenge.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry, standing on your feet. There's no love lost when you're on board the commentary team.
We're all friends.
We are all friends, thank goodness.
I mean,
My gosh, I just need to, seriously, I need to give my hand a rest. Oh, I've got it with this one now.
So Passion going in for the tack here. So they've gone right now. So a couple of boats started to push to the right. There's clearly something out here. You know, Passion are one of the top boats of the fleet. They've clearly seen something, and you know, who knows whether or not they're going to come out even further up, or whether that left is still pushing strong. At the moment, the left-hand side looks pretty good.
And Passion is just reminding everybody, Passion was over the line at the start, had to go back, and we called that they were going to get back into it, which they did, thankfully.
They're currently back into the top 4.
A reputation prevailed.
And Pahi just going for the tack behind us. We're going to get out of their way. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that left-hand side is still paying, Suellen.
Definitely still favoured. And even though Prince Hal and Playboy they went round that bottom mark gate at the same time, Playboy opted to go left, and they've managed to get back in front. And I reckon that Prince Hal could have had it if they had have actually tacked over and covered.
100%. I think you're right there, Suellen. And,
you know, can I just point out, you've said that quite a lot tonight. It's making me really happy.
You are always right, aren't you?
No.
I know it keeps you happy, so I'm never right, so someone has to be. And Prince Hal gone for the tack there, pulling their bloody huge Genoas around the forestay. So I feel sorry for the trimmers on these boats, Suellen. It's quite the sail to pull around on such a small boat.
And they can actually opt for the smaller headsail as well, which doesn't overlap, but that only comes out when it's about 40 odd knots.
Yeah, let's be real. Bigger's better.
Absolutely. But you also need these big overlapping Genoa headsails so that you can actually get these heavy boats through the water. So as I said, you know, only when you've got breeze on, so much so that we wouldn't even probably be out here because we wouldn't be able to stand up, that's when the number 2 comes out.
Most certainly.
But they still fly those massive spinnakers as well.
I mean, look, and that's the thing, like, they fly these massive spinnakers. I was asked today at what speed these things start foiling. And I still can't work it out, Suellen. I've never seen it happen, but I just thought, you know, they're going to start putting all these big sails up and something special is going to happen, but the boats just seem to go the same speed everywhere.
The only time you see a keel on these things is when they're fully hiked over because something's gone drastically wrong. You know what? Foiling isn't always the way to go, you know? Come on. Sometimes traditional yacht racing, like Stewart 34s, have been around for 60 years now. You know, sometimes this is just what you need. You need to go back to basics and just learn the real reasons why we all fell in love with yachting.
100%.
And watching boats like this, for me personally, this is the reason I fell in love with yachting. One design, or as close to one design as you can get, short course, fast racing. I reckon this is where it's at.
Oh, we'll maybe take back the fast bit, Suellen.
What?
Oh, that's Stewart 34s.
Well, they're cool. They start with S, although all the boats start with P. Figure that one out. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good one. So here we go. Playboy going for a pole on here. Tide's taking them up to it. There's Bex Hornell going for the brace there. Quite a late pole on here. It's going to be close. Could be a slightly late hoist here for them. And you've got Prince Hal have lost out quite a bit as well. You've got Psyche have come up pretty nicely here. The left clearly paid quite well for them. They've got a massive advantage on Passion, who are easily 100 metres behind them now.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely that little front that we saw sucking in that breeze, that was the way to go. Always follow the dark cloud.
Always follow the dark cloud, for sure.
So tips out there for our beginners watching, follow the dark cloud. Sometimes it's going to end up messy, but most of the time it'll pay off.
100%. So there we go, nice hoist there from Psyche. The jib's coming down. Now, you know, tonight they've been pretty good at getting their rumble on and rolling over the top of a few people, so it'd be good to see whether or not they do the same on the Prince Hal and push themselves into second place on this race.
All right, let's stick with them to find out what happens. Shall we call it?
Oh,
I don't reckon they're going to get
I
up
don't
to
think
them.
they will. Unfortunately, you know, look, Tim Snedden there, Stan on the brace, Tom Saunders steering, but I think Prince Hal have got this one. But, you know, look,
They've just
still
got
quite
to
the
mention
race
as
to go.
well, at the back of the boat, doing some trim as well, there is Olivia Christie. And Olivia is the New Zealand laser sailor who actually qualified New Zealand for the Olympic Games. So she's holding on to hope to be able to be selected for the 2021 Tokyo Games. But, you know, the boat is full of laser sailors because George Pilkington, who's just up there holding the boom out, he's also gone over to the laser as well. So this is like proper one design training.
This is, isn't it? And you know, look, it's great to see so many of the rock stars of New Zealand yachting out racing on the Stewarts.
Well, they can't go anywhere else, can they?
Well, you know, I guess they are stuck here for good. But you know, look, I just want to give a little shout out to Stan, who's touring the brace here as well. He's been sailing with Paul Groom for quite a few years now, and he was on there when I sailed the boat, and absolutely great guy, and you know, keeps all us young guys in check, and it's good to see he's still going strong on board too.
Okay, I want to, here's one for you. This is, again, another interesting poll. When sailing, shoes or no shoes?
Shoes.
Yeah, I'm shoes all the way as well.
I've just got English feet as well, I think.
Oh, I just don't understand how people can go on these boats and
away from George Pilkington
and not wear shoes.
He's not concentrating, is he?
No, he's just, look at him. He's like cool, holding onto the boom. He's doing a job.
He
He's
looks
holding
cool.
the boom
At least
out.
he looks cool. His mum will be happy. Tim Snedden looking around. Where's the next breeze coming from? He looks a little bit stressed, if I'm honest.
I reckon you should do a little bit of a shout out for, we're talking about Tim Snedden quite a lot tonight. He's just developed a new app.
He has, yeah. So Tim Snedden, who's the fella in the red t-shirt in the middle here.
Hey Sned, give us a wave.
Giving us a wave.
That's him there.
Tim Snedden's just developed his app.
What's it called? Boat Captain.
Boat Captain. It's the Boat Captain app. You can get it on your smartphones and on your computer. So any boat owners out there that need some work done to it, done on their boats, get onto Boat Captain, and there's heaps of people looking for work. So yeah, shout out to Sneddy for that, because it's an awesome idea, and hopefully that pushes on further and more people get involved with it.
And back to the yachting, we can see here that Playboy and Prince Hal have just jibed simultaneously, and you can see though that Playboy will be playing the cover game now. They cannot, under any circumstances, let Prince Hal go through, because I mean, it's not just points that are on the line, it's also a hell of a lot of pride.
Oh, 100%. And you know, look, it's good to see Psyche are just soaking down here. Hopefully that'll bring them closer to Prince Hal. But you know, look, we all know that the third person in a relationship never goes well, so I kind of think Psyche needs to just hold out and let these two sort it out and and maybe come in later on when it's all finished.
It's a really interesting way of describing that. I quite like it. But the thing is though, if the third wheel in this particular one just does his own thing and doesn't get caught up in the rubbish that the other two cause, he can probably find himself to be a winner.
Most certainly, Suellen. Most
You know,
certainly.
I mean,
Look, he's
everyone
doing his
likes-
own thing.
Everyone likes the less complicated side of everything.
Exactly. He's keeping it simple. He's doing his own race. Look, I think Prince Hao and Playboy might have to start looking around them here, and I think Psyche could be coming to take the glory at the moment.
Wouldn't that just be a fascinating love story to end this race 2 of the evening? Race 5 of the series.
More romantic than Romeo and Juliet.
Absolutely. Well, I hope they survive at the end. You do know that story, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But,
Nobody dies version.
but so you can see now, Pole has come right back on these two boats, and they are going to probably be able to just soak into the finish line. But Psyche, that they jibed off, they will come in on a bit of a tighter angle, but maybe they just left their run a little bit too late.
I mean, look, it's not far off of a jibe here. Oh, here we go. So Playboy,
Nice call.
Playboy have done a dummy jibe, surprisingly. So they're going breeze behind, I guess. Prince Hao have gone for the jibe. I mean, Prince Hao are laying through, so I'd say losses to Playboy here.
Actually, that was an interesting move,
Yeah, I'm. Should Playboy have just let it earlier, or are they doing the right thing? At the end of the day, as long as they're bow forwards, it's they'll get the win. But
Let's go up and see whose bow is forward.
at the moment, it's definitely getting close.
Oh, that was an interesting manoeuvre.
Look, Prince Hao are bringing some nice breeze in here.
And as you can see here now, we talked about the third wheel in the relationship, Psyche, coming in on a much better angle.
Having a dabble, Suellen.
They are absolutely having one here with these boys.
100%.
I'm quite excited on see how this is going to go.
Look, I do still think Psyche have just left it a little too late, though,
Yeah, I
Suellen.
think you're right. Let's have a look here at the overlap that we've got coming into the finish line.
I mean, that's definitely closed up.
It has, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. Playboy definitely left their move a little bit too late. Maybe they were chewing their fingernails whilst trying to make a decision.
Yeah, I think Prince Hao might be back, Suellen. I think maybe last week was just first week nerves.
Could be. They do have a new skipper on board. And
New
look at this.
skipper.
This is neck and neck coming into the finish line. Neck and neck. We're going to follow right through to show you who has won this second race of the night. Oh my goodness, could it be Prince Hao? Let's keep going a bit
They're
forward.
rumbling. They've got a nice bit of pressure here.
Oh, it could be Prince
Pilks
Hao.
is starting to look stressed. What's he going to do? Can he do
don't
anything?
know.
Is he?
Could he
This
go
is
up?
it. This could be it.
This could be all over Red Rover.
Did Pilks
Race
have
2
one?
of the evening.
I mean, Prince Hao are just motoring on over them here.
Oh my goodness, but
See.
we're just gonna wait a second. We've also
Pilks
got
looking
Psyche.
over the shoulder here. He's getting nervous. This is close.
And Prince Hao, I reckon, have done it.
You reckon? Oh, it's close.
Oh, Prince Hao have done it. Great work
There
by
we
the
go.
blue boat.
Great job. Prince Hao are back. Psyche coming in a close third. Great comeback for Psyche. Just not quite enough, though.
Okay, so now let's just have a bit of an evaluation on that one there. Bradley, tactically speaking there, what do you think that Playboy did wrong? Talk us through what happened.
Well, look, I think it's a hard one. Playboy jibe for breeze behind on the short jibe. Prince Hao led the jibe and carried on and managed to get breeze in front of them and managed to roll over the top of them quite nicely. Maybe Playboy just didn't quite realise they were laying for the finish. I liked what Psyche did with staying out on their own and doing their own thing, because they really did gain back from that. Brought a nice bit of pressure down, which is what I think Prince Hao jibed into. Got another good tussle up here with Passion and Parteri. Good to see Parteri doing pretty well. They weren't looking too flash at the start of this race, and they definitely had a tough one in the first race. So good to see they've made a comeback. But look, it's going to get pretty close on points again tonight with Passion and Psyche. Because looks like, I think Parteri might have just got that one. So there's a boat between them again now. Princess coming down here. Look, I don't think that right-hand side really did pay off. Prisoner made a small comeback. They look like they're having a tough first beat.
Definitely left all the way in that race, that's
100%.
for sure. Well, that was outstanding. So that just goes to show that that is the perfect example of it ain't over till it's over.
I thought you were pointing at the screen for me to read something. And I was like,
Yes, you just see that bit there? See that there? Just read that. Well, I'm having a great time. How about you?
I'm having a pretty good time, Suellen.
This is pretty cool, isn't it?
Looks like looks like a minor breakage on the committee boat here.
Let's go check this out.
Yeah, it looks. I'm not sure whether someone's boom took it or whether or not it just decided it's had enough and it wants to go back to the bar. But
it's a good option. But
it looks pretty floppy, doesn't it?
Yep. Right.
Hey, at least the rain's gone, Suellen.
Okay, at least the rain has gone. I think you should go and talk to this guy about his driving skills.
Hey Fluffy, talk us through it. What's your top 10 tips to driving a chase boat for Suellen?
Hang on, it's not for me. It's for everyone.
The live, sail, die. You just have to watch. You actually just have to watch and try and not panic and try and not knock Suellen overboard.
That happens.
That's a good start because Suellen goes over the side. There's no camera anymore, so we're all blind and no one can see what's going on. But you know, look, it's breeze is still in quite nice. It has started to drop here.
Hey Bradley, we've had a question from Dave Chapman.
Oh God.
Why a Western Solent sail is better than Eastern?
He's lying. They're not, Dave Chapman. You know, look, Eastern Solent's the place to be. Royal Victoria Yacht Club. It's the home of Isle of Wight yachting in my eyes. And you know, look, Dave, I don't know what you've been smoking, but that's a yarn.
That's a yarn.
Yeah.
Something about the last time we were out as well. They were talking about take him to the moon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe it's one of those. It might be a Sydney thing, Suellen.
I don't know what it is.
Funny sayings, don't they?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Either way, you can't understand it. So that's all you just smile and nod, and everything comes good at the end, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Now it looks like the boats are composing themselves a little bit here and getting themselves sorted before going back into another sequence, which I believe will be the third and last race of the night, which will be the sixth race.
That's interesting that you say that, because chances are they could go for 4.
Well, there's a spanner in the works, isn't it?
They've done it before, and I tell you what.
Well, look, I guess if the weather's right and the sun's still out.
That's a really good point. Check your batteries.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Am I full? What battery?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Clearly not chatting enough crap, Suellen.
Here we go. Oh, look at this as well. We've got some Elliots out here doing some sail training.
The Learn to Sail program with the
You've
Royal New
got,
Zealand Yacht Squadron.
Skipper Vella on board there, teaching some sailors. Oh goodness, let's hope that they, oh, well, interesting.
Got
it's okay, it's all part of it. Hey guys!
We've got a roll going on here with Elliot 7 versus Stewart 34. Not sure who comes out on top on that one. I know Stewart 34 would certainly win in a
fight.
in a punch-up. But you know, look, we're not all like that in sailing.
So the reason that we're delayed at the moment is that the start boat is having some difficulties with their flag system. It looks like it has come apart. That could mean the end of sailing tonight, which would be a shame to end on a race committee breakage, but these things happen. I reckon they're going to be working pretty hard to jury rig that thing to get it back up and going, because we've only done 2 races so far tonight. Normally they go for 3, sometimes they go for 4. Personally, I'm much happier when they only go 3.
And look, I mean, the breeze is perfect right now. You know, it's dropped off a little bit. The rain's gone. Just hopefully the breeze stays in for at least another race if we can get one going. Because you know, it's calmed off a bit. Hopefully it'll bring things a little bit closer with everybody.
So Bradley, look, tell us what sailing you're doing at the moment now that pro sailing is kind of off the cards a wee bit for us down here in New Zealand, because we can't leave the country and can't get back in.
Yeah, so Ellen, I've been doing a little bit of different sailing. We've been lucky that we've been able to still go racing here in New Zealand. So we've been sailing on the good ship Anarchy with the great AJ Reid, and so we tried to do the coastal. Unfortunately, the breeze didn't allow us to do that. And I've been a lucky person to be able to go foiling in my Moth, which has been a very big learning curve and probably more swimming lessons than sailing lessons.
I think I've seen you spend more time rigging and de-rigging than sailing.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, fixing breakages. Yeah, I think I did 3 hours of rigging and de-rigging to 45 minutes sailing yesterday. So the timings aren't too great, but you know, it's safe to say Stewart's are faster to rig and de-rig than that. So,
Absolutely.
that's the great thing about them as well.
Now it looks like the race committee has fixed the issue, managed to jury rig the flag system. So hopefully that means once they get this B division away that we can get race 3 underway for you here on the second night of racing for the 2021 Stewart 34 Championship Series hosted by the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. My driver this evening is none other than Richard, aka Fluffy. Give us a wave there, boy. Yeah, he's on a delayed feed. He can't actually hear me. He'll see that in 30 seconds. He'll hear that and give us a wave in 30 seconds. And Bradley McLaughlin, all the way from the Isle of Wight, cows nonetheless.
The God's Island. In
England. And me.
The mighty Suellen.
All the way from
Australia.
Tamaki Drive. Australia. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he heard it. So I wonder if, wonder how many races these guys are going to do tonight. I reckon probably 3, given now it's 7:10.
I think with that little wait around sorting out their rig has probably lost a little bit of time for it. But look, I think the last of the no extras divisions coming in here now. Flyer coming in here in 3rd, I believe. We got Passengers coming across our bow. Didn't quite make the best comeback. The legend of Tom Rutter there on the bow.
He's another one vying for a spot on the NZ Ocean Racing team, led by Bianca Cook.
Getting his training on the best of boats he can find, the mighty Stewart 34s.
I mean, look, if you're going to learn resilience, this is the boat to do it on.
Character building's is probably how you sum up a Stewart 34, right?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, let me just double checking here that everything's still going. Tell you what, I've been pretty impressed with the system changes that we've done on our little gimbally live streaming system. This time last year we had Chris deal with a steamer box over his head to try to keep the wind noise out. We fancied up a lot of interesting things, but found out just one simple little cable fixed all of our problems. If only life were that simple, hey?
If only life were that simple. It'd be amazing what a cable could fix, wouldn't it?
Tell you what, it has been an interesting year here in New Zealand during level 4 lockdown. And level 3, we weren't allowed to go sailing. As soon as level 2 kicked in, boats just hit
Marinas
the water
were
empty. You could, like, seriously, you couldn't move in the bays around the Hauraki Gulf.
Craziness. You know, we're lucky to be down here. It's great to be able to still go yachting. You know, it sucks to be in the UK and other places at the moment because, unfortunately for them, they're still in lockdowns. But I mean, like, how lucky are we here? You got people on boats, no masks in sight, and you know, like, it's awesome. Summer's starting. You couldn't think of a better place to be right now.
That's exactly right. Plus, we've got America's Cup boats cruising around the harbour, and it just makes for being the best place in the world to be. Sorry you can't be here. Coming up to the next warning signal.
I stood there and it was the right time.
Oh, change of mind here. Maybe they're still sorting out some issues there.
Why don't we go have a yarn to them, find out what's going on? That'll get them to start because that's
No one
always
wants to
the
talk
way.
to us.
We probably could have actually talked to a sailor during that whole little break.
Yeah.
Instead, we talked to you.
Yeah, I still wonder why you do that, Suellen.
All right, getting ready for the 5 now. Here we go. Our blue flag is down, which means all boats are finished.
Looks like people are being a little more sensitive with the start line now. People holding back a little more, getting themselves ready.
And that breeze has dropped off by about 7 or 8 knots.
Madness, isn't it?
Well, this is Auckland.
Yeah. Another season in the day.
Great place to come yacht racing.
The sun's just starting to shine through the clouds.
Looks a wee bit
Perfect
pretty,
breeze.
doesn't
The
it?
tide is ripping still. There we go. So that's the 5-minute horn for the Stewart 34's Spinnaker division, A division. People are a little bit shy on getting their jibs up and ready to go, but I'm sure that'll come.
It's all right.
Maybe they all want to go back to the bar.
You can't rush these things.
Oh, exactly.
I
Here we
reckon
Prince Hal leading the charge here.
after this race, we would probably see AP over A, no more racing today.
Fair enough. You know, these guys grinding those Chinoas on look like they get pretty thirsty pretty fast. There we go, look, the whip's being cracked. Mighty Princess with their lovely new set of sails.
All right, where should we go on the line this time, kids?
Do you reckon we give the pin a go this time?
Let's do it. Let's get amongst
Why
it.
not, eh?
Yeah,
You
sure.
reckon the pin?
Why not?
Should we do the pin this time?
We've got the ability to mix it up.
Yeah, why not?
Let's mix it up like a
We've not
casserole.
been down there tonight, have we?
We haven't been down there
Draw on the
tonight.
dark side. Yeah, then again though, it looks like not
4
many
minutes.
people are going for the pin this time round.
Well, why don't we go where the fleet goes?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I reckon they're going to know more about this line than us. Because we're just standing here like talking absolute
Chatting.
rubbish
Yeah.
before a start.
Yeah.
Whereas they're actually thinking about it. They've done their transits. They've done their guesstimation on how long it's going to take to get to the line based on their speed of 4 knots.
In every direction.
In every direction.
But you know, that's what makes it fun, keeps it close.
I tell you what though, the disappointing thing is that we've seen no top mark action. Nobody's picked up the mark and dragged it for miles like Nick Eggnott-Johnson has done previous times before.
Maybe it's just a him thing. Maybe he's a magnet to top marks.
It's a magnet to something.
Yeah.
And there's the delay laughter from our boat driver, Fluffy, down the back of the boat. Okay, here we go. We are now coming up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, look, Prism already quite far up in the start box here. Be pretty close to the line. They're going to have to start thinking about getting back. I mean, the wind has died, and it'd be interesting to see if people have actually noticed how much it has died, and whether or not we're going to have a few late starters here.
Don't forget though as well, the tide is still pushing in rapidly, and where we are on this side of the bridge, it is a lot stronger as well, because it's like funneling in underneath the bridge as
pretty
it
strong up here.
pushes out.
But you know, the breeze is perfect up here. You've not got the bridge or the city in the way. We got Passion just coming across the side of us here. They'll be looking to redeem themselves from being over in that second race there. Psyche are coming down the line now. They're pretty deep in the box as well, so it'll be interesting to see where they end up. I mean, right now I'd say they'd struggle for a pin ley line. So
I just can't. I mean, it's just for depth and perception here. I know it's going to be really hard to show. So just to explain what's going on here,
we
Stewart
just got,
34s encourage us to get up close and personal.
yeah. So our excellent chase boat driver has been getting us right in the action here. I saw. I actually even got to see Beck Sornell's facial expression. She looked quite scared. I'm not sure whether she's being told off or what. Got Pahi calling starboard on Passion.
And we are so far back from the line, but that's how much tide there is.
You've got to be choosing a good lane here. I
And
mean,
you're going to have to be confident as well with your position.
100%. I mean, it looks like Pilks is pretty happy with Beck's time on distance here. They're pretty forwards up in the box now. You've got Princess coming in on the right-hand side. They'll be looking to sneak in and find a gap last minute. You know, I think Psyche look like they're in the doghouse a little bit down here. If they can make the pin, I'd be impressed.
Playboy's just had to jump down a little bit too early.
Playboy are early.
Oh.
Passion have gone for a last-minute tack up.
Okay, this is it. We've got 1 minute to go. Oh gosh, I reckon Playboy's going to be too early. What do you reckon?
It's getting close here. You got even Psyche's actually starting to look all right here. I mean, the breeze is a little more in the right at the moment. It looks they're in the light at the moment there. So we're going to see what's going on here. But right now the boats up on the boat side of the start line are very close, and I would almost say they're definitely going to be over here.
Yeah, Princess is a little bit argy-bargy on Pahi there.
We could be seeing a general recall here. I definitely think we'll see an individual recall. So here we go, Passion are coming in here. Passion are actually still early. They've just taken a little bow down. Princess have gone out. Pahi have coming down. This is carnage if you hadn't seen it before, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stewart 34 Racing, how we know it.
This is vocal. This is what we love.
Here we go. Look, Parteri are all in the wrong. Well over. They're all over. Has the gun gone off?
I haven't heard it yet.
There we go.
There we go.
I mean, I'd say even Playboy are over there.
So that's Parteri very much over.
Playboy are over.
Playboy know they're over.
Psyche, I mean, looks like Psyche had nailed their time on distance. And they are off on the pin end, and they are punched out ahead of Prince Howe and Prism.
That could be the most exciting thing I've seen all year.
Oh, that was brilliant, wasn't it? Was there contact though? It looked like there was a little kiss with Parteri. I think Playboy found the wrong blue boat and thought it was Prince Howe.
I went for a love bump.
Yeah.
And it backfired.
He's cheating on her. You know, look, Princess, Playboy, Parteri.
Okay, now just let's have a look here. So Pahi's gone off onto the right-hand side of the course. I don't reckon that's the right move, because the left-hand side I reckon is still paying. You have a look at when these guys tack out here, they're going to be tacking on a nice little lift coming up into that top mark.
And look, I mean, not the best tack there from Psyche, unfortunately, but look, they've tacked up on the top of the fleet. If it goes right, they'll roll down over the top of these guys, and if it goes left, they'll be looking great. Whereas Pahi are looking like they're, I think I'm with you there. I think they're going to struggle to get back in with this pack.
The other thing as well about being on this side of the bridge is that they're able to make the courses a lot longer. These upwind legs are a lot longer than what we're used to.
Oh, for sure, Suellen.
Which means tactics do come into play a lot more than luck.
I mean, look, you know, hopefully Psyche can keep the boat rumbling a bit harder and be able to get over the top of Prince Hal. These guys on Prince Hal sail the boat very well, and from what I remember, they're always high and fast. So if you're stuck up to Wimbledon them like Psyche are, you've got to work your ass off.
Actually, have a look at them though. I mean, Psyche is playing a lot. They're actually on a lower angle than Prince Hal. Prince Hal is actually pinching a fair bit here and trying to probably just stay out of a little bit of the shit that they're getting from Psyche. But they are in that higher groove, and it's probably hard for you to see on the angle that we're showing here. But Prince Hal is sailing a lot higher, but a little bit slower than Psyche.
Definitely so, and it did look like at one point Psyche were trying to rumble down over the top of them to give them a bit more gas, but they've given up and they've stuck the bow up again now.
And interestingly, like Prism is actually sailing in a whole different breeze. Look at how high they are, and they're not even trying to pinch.
Isn't it crazy? I think Prince Hal have so far done, out of these three boats, done the best on their mode changing. They went low and fast. They've punched out pretty well on Psyche. They've lost a bit of height there, but I think they're looking pretty sharp. Looks like Psyche are really struggling to point on the and keep the boat rumbling. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's great to see the Prism up here in the top three. It looks like they had a tough start to the night. Yeah, they started getting back into the racing in the last one, but it's great to see them currently in third place.
And like we said, Pahi, it looked like they had a glamour start. They went out to the right-hand side, which is just not favoured. I mean, that's backdoor bandits out there on the right. You want to stay on the left.
That's got to go pretty hard right to be able to give them anything now, isn't it?
Yeah. So probably not the greatest move. I mean, so the leading boats that we're looking at here are Prism, Prince Hal, and Psyche. The rainbow boat, the blue boat, and the yellow boat. It's all about colours here tonight.
It was all about colours.
And we've also got this beautiful sunset poking through as well. What a great night to be alive.
I think it's great to see the Psyche have been, even with their being over on the first race, their consistency tonight has been awesome. Always been in the top 3 or 4 boats off the line and in the racing. I think they were third in the line. I think they're 2/3 tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they've actually had a good one. You can't really complain with that result.
They're going pretty well.
Bunch of laser sailors on board.
Not bad for a bunch of laser sailors, eh?
Laser sailors are awesome. Excuse me, wash your mouth out. He's a former, now retired laser sailor. I back them all the way.
So there we go. Olivia was just dumping a little bit of backstay there. Just powering themselves up a little bit. Stand down, grinding the jib on for her. Looks like they've actually started to punch forwards pretty nicely in this last couple of minutes. I'd say definitely gains to them here. They look like they're setting up to tack over here. I guess they're not far off the ley line. But you're right, that middle right actually kind of paid. The hard left was pretty ugly.
They do have complete control over the fleet here.
Exactly.
Prince Hal, I mean, they could be close to clearing attack, but Psyche is actually in control here. Psyche, what they should do, as soon as Prince Hal goes for attack, Psyche should jump on top. Oh, do you have a look
Leading
at that?
attack, eh? Leading attack on the ley line. Maybe, I think it should be a pretty easy lay here, Suellen.
I actually think Prince Hal had a much better attack. They got that Genoa on a lot faster than Psyche. Well, a lot faster, I say probably 2.5 seconds faster. But that could make all the difference in this hectic one design racing.
Oh, most certainly. But you know, look, it's great to see Psyche leading into the top mark on race 3 of the night. I guess the older fellas in the fleet are starting to feel fatigued, Suellen, and these young guys are finally getting to show their capabilities and punch out on them all.
It's a little ageism, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Old boats, young crew, is that the way to go?
100%.
100%.
Oh, look, they've got the brace sneaked out there, ready for a good hoist. This could be the hoist of the night, hopefully, if they get it right.
Oh, I hope you haven't just given them the commentator's curse.
I might have given them the commentator's curse. But look, easy lay here for Psyche. I'd say an easy lay here for Prince Hal as well. Prism have got their brace out very early, and they're nearly flying a kite upwind.
Playboy's going to have a lot of work to do to get back in the game for this race.
I mean, look, Playboy are deep.
I think it's all over
they
for
are
them.
deep here. You know,
All right,
Princess are in the
see.
mix. Princess are in with Prism, so this could be a close battle.
Let's see if you've given them the commentator's curse. Let's go up to Psyche and see what's going on with these boys.
So there they go. They go for the hoist. Oh, is there? There's a wine glass. Oh, I gave him the curse. Eh?
That is outstanding.
Sorry, Tom and Ethan on the bow.
Oh my
Psyche.
God, there you go. They've cleared
At least
it.
it comes out. And
Oh,
Prince
that's
House
a
hoist.
little
This looks
humorous.
tidy. This could be the hoist of the night.
There
There's
you
the
go.
kite.
That is the hoist of the night. Beautiful.
The
Nice
kite's
little
there.
change. Nice
Pretty
little
high.
change
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, Princess are hoisted before the windward mark, so that's. Oh, this could be good. Uh oh. Oh, hell's breaking loose behind us here tonight. Prism have got the roll on Princess. Prism just need to get their bloody kite set.
Well,
Still managed to get the roll on with a kite in 3 wraps. If that's not impressive, what is? There we go. I think Princess are having ham and cheese rolls in this one.
Do you reckon they put the roast lamb on downstairs?
Oh, you would, right?
Absolutely.
Last downwind in, I reckon.
Oh, nice little pump up
Sticking
here.
their bow up. Are they going to try and go for the roll? Now this could potentially make a pretty big separation from the front two if these two start playing with each other like this.
Sometimes playing can be healthy for a race. You never know. Great
Look at
work
that.
by
Princess
Princess.
are rumbling. That's a bow wave if you haven't seen one before.
Look at them riding
That is as
there.
close to on the step as Stewart 34 can get, so that's pretty bloody awesome. Look at them go, Suellen.
I'm astounded.
That's just,
I can't believe how fast we're going.
that is yacht racing.
I think
That
we
is
peaked
yacht
out
racing.
at 5 knots of boat speed.
There we go,
5.5
5.5 knots
knots.
of boat speed there on Princess. Absolutely launched.
Smoking down.
Look at that. It's good to see they stopped playing with Prism now and they're sailing their own race. Chosen the low lane. Looks like it's a lay through on this race. It means that breeze has dropped to gone left just like the forecast had said. So I wasn't lying to you earlier, Suellen.
Well, I never thought you'd ever lie to me, Bradley, McLaughlin. Thought you were one of the good ones. And moving right along, we are up to race 3 of the night. Race 6.
Six of the series.
Race 6 of the series. This is the second night of racing for the Stewart 34 Championship Series. And if you want to get involved in this 5.5, peaking out at 6 knot racing, One Design Racing here in Auckland, New Zealand, get yourself involved. Just get in touch with us and we can get you on a boat for this Monday night racing. You're going to love it as much as we do. Fully fizzed, fully cocked about this whole thing. This is what we wake up every Monday morning for. Well, the
Madness.
Monday morning that it's
Is it
scheduled.
Monday? Sorry?
We get excited for the Monday mornings that it's
yeah.
happening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, wakey, Northern Hemisphere. Monday's not so bad.
Monday is bearable when you have Stewart 34 racing to film, talk about and show off to the world.
I'll tell you what, Suellen, it's definitely a one-sided track here. It's tight reaching coming down to the bottom mark now. Very much a one-sided track. Not much overtaking to be done here. Psyche have been punched out at the front here pretty nicely now. Prince Howell closely behind in second, and great to see Prism and Princess bringing in 3rd and 4th. So the usual 3rd and 4ths of Passion and Playboy are deep in the box here.
Well, usual. You just said that Playboys are usual in 4th place. I think Playboy will be absolutely having a mare back there.
It looks stressful back there, doesn't it?
Having a full dummy split, being deep in the fleet when they're used to being at the front and pointy end.
100%.
It could be some protests on the card when we head back to the bar as
There
well.
certainly could. You know, as we know, there was already one protest from apparently the start of the first race from Partetti against Playboy. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out because I couldn't see it personally.
I mean, at the end of the day, just buy each other a beer, shake hands, have a cuddle and move on.
100%, so you're spot on.
I mean, who's got time for protests?
Exactly. Coming up the rear of Prince Howell Racing here. They've had a great night tonight, very consistent night for these guys. And looking strong, looking locked in. Looks like the change in skippers hasn't been too much damage on the team after all.
Well, they did give us a warning. They go, look, the reason that we've had one is that we don't have Mark Bond on board, but I reckon that was just an excuse for maybe a potentially, Bit of a rough start to this series.
Yeah,
because
pretty early
these
to throw an
guys,
excuse out there.
these guys are going well tonight.
Definitely, you know, look, they look pretty locked in. Pretty regular crew of the past few seasons, and you know, always a team to be keeping an eye out for at the front of the fleet.
The other thing as well is that I think right now we're going to watch a race on crew work, because if Psyche has one, drops their kite in the water, doesn't get their Genoa out fast enough, Prince Hal is going to take advantage and they're just going to sneak their way around. They're going to hit that left-hand side of the course, is my bet.
Most
And
certainly
if I was Psyche, I'd be like making sure that my crew work is outstanding, and I would just go for the cover the whole way through the rest of this race. We've got one more upwind and one more downwind to go. Potentially that's it for the night, but I still don't see any flags on the start boat. Maybe they'll wait till the next downwind. Here we go. Prince Hal's gone for the drop.
Going for the drop here. Still quite a full kite here. Prince Hal can get that down and be good. Looks like Psyche have got their kite down nice and early here. Prism going pretty early for their kite down now. It looks like the tide's still ripping pretty hard. Psyche have gone lovely rounding, straight into an early tack. Excellent work there from Psyche, leading the tack there. Straight into a nice bit of left pressure.
I think we are going to see a soldier's course for the rest of this race though, Bradley.
I think you're right there, Suellen. Nice drop there from Prism. It looks like Princess have got a little bit on with their drop now. Quite pressed up drops here. I think it could be a good one to watch the rest of the fleet coming in. Hopefully somebody's going to mess it up for the viewers.
So let's tell our driver we'll stay down here.
We'll stay down here for a bit. So here we go. Princess are coming around the mark here. Their kite's in. Pole's still out, so no early tack at the moment.
They actually managed to save themselves. We'll just go back up into the breeze and we'll watch the kite drops. Just going to watch the kite drops. So we've had a little bit of breeze pick up in here, and again, look at that dark cloud that's right above the fleet. That is what is going to cause all this havoc. I probably wouldn't stay this close.
I mean, Passion are coming in pressed up with Playboy right on their tail, so this could be a calling for a great bit of carnage. There we go, the halyard's been blown on Passion. Reasonably early drop there, but looks pretty good. I'd say it's safe. The pole's still on though, so they're going to struggle for an early tack. Struggling to get their kite down. Kite's in the water at the moment. Same with Playboy. He's taking the low road, hoping that the Passion guys can't get the bow up and they can sneak inside.
I reckon Pahi's the one that's had one here.
Pahi looks like they got a little bit on there. Nice drop there from Playboy.
Oh, Pahi, it's nice and messy on board.
Playboy's kite's in, they're on the rail. Pahi are spearker up, jib up, and they're currently reaching in towards the mark. Here we go, just about getting it under control.
Lots of flappy going on though.
Exactly. I'm still struggling to get that brace off. I reckon there's somebody at the back sitting on that brace, Suellen. There we go, they're down, pole's coming off.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse than a bum cleat in a hectic situation.
No one likes a bum cleat, Suellen. Don't be that guy, eh?
Don't be the bum cleat.
Well, look, Playboy have gone just straight early tack. Passion have gone a little bit further out to the left and tacked on the back of Princess. And then Parteri bringing up the rear of the fleet.
This has definitely turned into a soldier's course. That breeze has swung right around.
That breeze is full southerly at the moment. I mean, Parteri are struggling to lay anything at the moment. Couldn't pick a lay line if they paid for one, Suellen.
I've got nothing to say to that. I think I've lost all the words out of my word box. Here we go, Parteri are dropping their kite.
Had to drop their kite to come up to the boat. They've got it under control.
Oh, well, I think everyone did okay. I think the worst drop was probably Pahi.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're still ahead of one boat, and they've got their rumble on going upwind now. So they look locked in. This
could be the last upwind of the night.
Starting to lose a little bit of daylight suddenly there, Suellen.
It's a little dark and romantic.
It is, yeah.
Moody actually.
A little sunset date this, isn't it?
People pay a lot of money to be out on the harbour for a sunset little race,
There's the mighty Pahi going upwind.
Actually, it's not Mark Taylor on the hill. I got that one wrong.
Look, Passion are pretty far in the dog box still with Playboy. Looks like potentially pushing onto that left-hand side a little more has done them pretty good. The mighty Flyer sending it downwind on two sails.
Not sure what happened with Princess there, they were in view, but they sort of just had to go upwind sort something out, and then they came back down.
They got 3 people down to leeward at the moment.
Yeah, something's not quite right there.
Now look, Suellen, I'm no specialist at this kind of stuff, but it's definitely not fast.
Yeah, no, it's not fast when you've got the whole crew down to leeward trying to sort out an issue.
I mean, it definitely looks like there's one person doing all the work, and there's a few.
I reckon what we need, all we need now is some high vis, and you've got yourself some road workers.
I think that's pretty spot on, Suellen. Look, someone's got to look at it. Someone's got to do the work.
And someone has to supervise.
Exactly, innit?
Shout out to all of our mates out there who wear high vis. Full respect.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it looks to me like Princess have got a overwinding turn there. They've had to take the sheet back to the aft winch.
Oh, nobody likes an override.
Now this could make things pretty fruity for their tack onto the onto ley line, because yeah, they might have a little bit on getting that out.
Yeah, they've definitely got an override there. That's not going to end well. So at what point do you get the knife out and go, do we really need to do another tack? They could do one more tack on the ley line and then not need their jib.
Exactly, Suellen. I think they almost need to start thinking about that, except that they're going to have to be reaching a little bit up this beat, get to the ley line, and either hope that they can strip that winch once the load comes off of it, or just get the knife out and chug a little cut in it. But right now, having 3 guys down to leeward is definitely not fast for them.
No, they still are holding on to passion, but Playboy is slipping away a wee bit from them there.
You can see that, eh?
I mean, you can see, let's just have a look at all the hiking that's going on there.
Passion swinging her down, Playboy's swinging her down, and we've got one guy on the rail on Princess.
They're about to cut it, are they? All right, let's get in there.
There we go.
Oh,
no, I'm not sure, eh? Are they a bit early for the cut? He's going for the knife.
Probably a little bit too
early. I reckon to have the knife ready, but I mean, look, if they cut it now, they've got heaps on. Just a quick pan around to the left, Suellen. We've actually got a match race going on here. And Psyche, I don't know what the hell they've done. They've thrown away an awesome lead to Prince Hal, who are just absolutely launched down here and undertaken them.
And Prince Hal, who called to say, look, our results aren't great because we don't have our #1 skipper on board.
They're certainly leading the last race of the night.
Having a blinder. So we will just keep an eye back on what's going on with Princess as well.
Yep.
See if they've cut.
I mean, Passion have tacked and are flapping their jib. Prism still in 3rd. So a strong result here for Prism. Yeah, they've got to really mess it up here to throw away a 3rd place.
And that breeze has just picked up probably another 5 to 8 knots as that cloud has come over us and fully heated up downwind for some of these boats.
No, look, Tim Snedden's going to be pretty dark about throwing away a leading a lead so good, as good as they had.
Now, Princess is probably out of this race. They're still going upwind. They're still deciding what to do. They probably should have cut when they said, actually.
Well, look, they're definitely past the ley line now, Suellen, and I think they're going to be using a spinnaker to get down to the windward mark.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to watch the match race. That is Psyche and Prince Al as they come down to the bottom finish for the last time in this race. And as we know from the previous race, the second race of the evening, Prince Hal pipped Playboy right on the line for a photo finish and took the win. Can Psyche get that lead back that they held onto so tightly and just let go of? Prince Hal is looking like they're going to go in just for the full cover.
100%, and Psyche have stuck their bow up to try and get the roll on Prince Hal at the moment. I think they've got a lot of work to do to be able to get the roll and get back down around them. They've gone separated real far here. They have got good downwind boat speed though, I must give them that, and they're definitely charging along pretty well here. I'm not sure, I think it's probably still currently a lay through unless these guys go miles out this way.
Sorry, Bradley, just talked over your top of you then. What did you say? Was it interesting?
Sorry?
Was it interesting?
Oh, it wasn't that interesting. It was probably all wrong as well, but you know.
So no instant replay on the commentary? You were filling a gap. I can see lights that have started to come on the bridge, so it'll be interesting to see if they do get another race away.
Most certainly. Or does the race committee want to go to the bar?
I think you want to go to the bar. I think that's about the 18th time you've mentioned the bar.
Look, Suellen, I'm no alcoholic, but I do enjoy quite a beer every now and again. No, I think it's safe to say Psyche have definitely got some legs on them downwind. Most of these downwinds, they've either rolled somebody or they've definitely caught up to the boats ahead of them. Some great work down here.
You can see there on the helm is Tom Saunders, laser sailor.
You've got the owner, Paul Groom, there. I think he's running the pit there. George Pilkington just in front of him. I think he was a last minute addition to the Psyche crew tonight. I think thanks to Guy and Playboy for loaning him to them.
We did a crew swap for them just before the
cheeky
start.
crew swap before the start. You've got Tom Maben on the bow with Ethan running up the mast here. Some pretty solid bow work today. Some good boat handling from the Mighty Psyche guys.
I think
Tim
I can
Sneddon.
see AP over A on the finish boat. I reckon this is it. This is going to be the last downwind
This is
of
the
the
last
night.
downwind to the finish, confirmed. There is an AP up on the committee boat. The mark layers look like they're picking up the gate marks. So this is it, and I think Prince Hal are going to be just far enough ahead to be able to call this one theirs.
So what we'll do, after the finish of this race, we'll jump over to the guys on Prince Hal and talk about their day, or their evening, sorry. Well, we can talk about what they did, during the day.
Find out what they do for
frankly,
work.
I'm a little bit more interested in how they feel they went tonight, because I reckon they did all right, considering the excuse that they threw our way.
Oh, I think a solid effort from them tonight. I think it's safe to say they threw out all the, got rid of all the cobwebs from last week and came out with a fresh face, and they've definitely showed that they're still mean business in the Stewart 34 fleet.
We just got a little cheeky smile there from Tom Saunders, knowing
There
that
he
we're
is.
probably...
He's giving the thumbs up.
He knows that we're talking shit about
Not
him
sure why
tonight.
he's giving the thumbs up, because he's not winning at the moment, but as long as he's happy and enjoying himself out here, then that's awesome.
Look, just being out here, I think anyone who's out here is a winner.
Definitely so, Alan, most certainly.
Oh.
Look, it's great this breeze has held in for us tonight. Was forecast to drop, it's held in pretty nicely. Has been a little bit shifty to the left-hand side, but it has come on pretty awesome for tonight's racing.
Now, do you reckon these guys are going to chuck another jibe in before the finish?
Yeah, I don't know, Suellen. I mean, I'd say they could probably just about lay here if they get their bow down. It's whether or not there's enough breeze to be able to do it is the big question. I mean, look, they definitely can't. I mean, the only way of throwing it away now if their rig suddenly fell out the sky. And let's pray to God that doesn't happen.
I really hope you've not done another Commentators coast. They're going to go
we'll
in
see.
for a jibe, because remember that the finish is on the other side.
Yeah,
of
there we go. So
the
they look
boat.
like it looks like they've definitely stuck their bow down. So they're going to try and
Ooh,
roll
they
over
are.
and make it, which it looks like they are making at the moment. The tide is
helping.
definitely doing a little bit of work for them, giving them a hand there.
Oh, look at that tide. It's really
That's ripping
racing
now,
down.
isn't it? That
That's
tide really is
insane.
ripping. And
What?
look, I think it's safe to say these guys are bringing home their second win of the night.
What's
so
our current speed?
solid effort from the Prince Hal tonight.
Hey, guess what? We've reached a top speed.
Have we?
7 knots, but then now 5.
So there we go. We've recorded the top speed of the night of 7 knots from Prince Hal. So I think that's safe to say they were definitely on the step. There we go. Prince Hal take the horn. Second win of the night. Excellent first race as well. They're definitely back. They definitely mean business. Psyche coming in second. Another great effort for tonight. Unfortunately gave away this race. Not sure what the hell went on there, but it definitely wasn't good. But look, they're going to come in. They're going to drop their massive yellow spinnaker. And I'm sure we'll see them in the bar for a debrief of what they did wrong.
All right, we're going to head over to Prince Hal. Bradley, you're going to jump on board and do a wee interview, and then we'll come back and get you.
Sounds good.
I'm going to drop Bradley on. Him? On. Hey guys, we're just going to put Bradley on board.
Come for a chat.
Welcome aboard.
Please don't drop the microphone in the water.
Try not to drop the microphone. He's on. How are we doing, guys? How was our night? We'll talk to the skipper first. So what went right for you guys
Hey
tonight?
Bradley, Bradley, can you just turn around and face the camera?
Pretty much the basics, we've done pretty well. Jono on the tactics, did a good job, and yeah, it's good pace racing, especially downhill.
Awesome. We saw you guys had a lovely little roll on early jibe and roll on Pilks on that last downwind of the second race tonight. Yeah. Who thought that one out?
We saw it was shifting on us, and so we just positioned ourselves in just the right spot where we could get their wind and take it by this much.
Magic. We were impressed. We were definitely holding on tight and watching, and it was awesome to watch. And then what about your starts? What went right and what went wrong for you guys?
Went pretty well. Yeah, kept it pretty simple again. We didn't get tied up for the boat, so it's the golden rule. And just tried to get a bit of speed on the start, and away we went, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to jump back off now before I get too wet.
Any comments about why Mark Bond was so good?
Yeah, that's what happened to Mark Bond?
He's down below, he's reading the charts.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you've still got the lucky touch on board.
Reading the charts, yeah.
Well, nice work tonight, guys. That was scary.
Holy shiver McTimbers. Shall we go and have a chat with Psyche?
We should, shouldn't we? Before they run away from us.
We'll get you on board as well.
This would be fun.
Just remember to face the camera.
Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
Coming in to have a chat with Psyche tonight.
We're going to put Bradley on board. Bradley's going to go on board. Please don't fall in.
Yeah. Bradley, how are we going? Whoa! Good to see you. Good to see you. How was your night tonight, guys?
It was fantastic.
I'm going to face the camera as well. So we'll start off with Paul Groom, the owner. Why aren't you steering to start with?
I've got a bit of a sore shoulder.
Fair enough, fair enough. So we're joined by the mighty Tom Saunders. How was your night, mate?
It was not too bad. We had a 4-3-2, I suppose. So we're improving each race.
Looked pretty consistent.
Yeah, we got a bit shafted in the first race. I thought Playboy was definitely over as well. And then the second one, a few people not quite sure of lured windward. So that sort of screwed us a little bit as well. So
Just typical Stewart 34 carnage.
a little bit on the start line, yeah, which was unfortunate. Not played in our favour, but we're getting better. So
Fair enough. And what happened in that last race? You guys had a nice lead there, and when we looked around, you guys were in second.
the jib didn't come off in attack. Yeah.
There we go, boat handling. Oh well, we'll leave you guys to it. Oh, Olivia as well. So we've got laser sailors galore on this boat. Olivia, how are you finding the Stewart 34s?
Oh, just loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you doing on the boat?
I'm on trim.
Awesome. And then of course the mighty Stan. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Bradders, and you?
I'm bloody good. All the better for seeing you. All right, I'm going to get off.
There's some solid interviewing skills right there, Bradley McLaughlin. It's lucky
We'll get
it's lucky you're pretty.
Catch you later, guys. See you up there. Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
My interview's really that bad.
You know what? I couldn't hear a single word you were saying.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we've just
Sorry,
had
guys.
we had a guy. Somebody has actually asked what the results were in that last race. We had Prince Hal first, Psyche second, and Passion was in third. And everyone is sort of like running away now to go to your favourite place. Where's that? The bar.
The gym.
Oh, the
The
gym.
bar. Yeah, it's definitely not the gym. No,
Wow.
they are all heading back to the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron's bar for I guess a debrief and to have a go at whoever broke rules and whoever's protesting who. So fair enough to them.
We did see a couple of red flags flying, so it'd be interesting to see what has happened, see if everybody can just sort out their issues with a handshake. But I think to know about the Stewart 34 racing is that it's not just about results, but it's also about pride and bragging rights.
And having fun.
Yeah, did you have fun tonight?
I had heaps of fun, thanks, Suellen. Did you have fun?
I had a great time. Massive thanks to Richard, our boat driver, aka Fluffy. He did a great job tonight. And to my co-commentator, Bradley McLaughlin, all the way from Cowes on the Isle of Wight in England. And my arm is killing me and sore and tired. Right, we are back in 2 weeks' time for the next Stewart 34 Championship Series. No clue who our guest commentator is going to be. Maybe it might actually be Bradley and someone else.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, look.
We like to mix things up a bit.
It's always
here.
a pleasure to come out and do this. It's been great fun tonight. It's been great to watch some great racing.
It has been great.
Oh, man, and at least the rain did hold off in the end.
Yeah, it did. It was a little bit wetty at the start there, but you know, things sorted themselves out. You can find the results for the racing on the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron website. Just go to rnzys.org.nz and search for Stewart 34 Championship Series under Sailing and Club Regattas. We will have a full replay of this live stream coming your way via Facebook and on YouTube. We are back in 2 weeks. A massive thanks to all you guys for tuning in from around the world, and obviously a special big thanks to our number one fanboy, Scotty Dixon, who actually departs America for New Zealand, not a bad thing to do really, to come back and be a part of the action here. So thanks everybody, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bradley, any final words?
No, I think, yeah, as Suellen said, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the squadron for putting on another great night of racing. And thanks to the weather gods, I guess, as well, for keeping the wind in.
Yep, and thanks to all you guys for tuning in. We absolutely love it. It's great to see everybody from around the world enjoying some of this pretty raw and real yacht racing here in Auckland, New Zealand, where the America's Cup will be happening in March next year, kicking off with the Christmas Cup from the 17th to the 20th of December this year. Ooh, so excited. Full fizzer. What do we got? Enthusiast. All right, everybody, that's us for tonight. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. Stay tuned. Let's just have a look at the city for a second. It's really pretty.
That's pretty cool, look.
Yeah, look at it. So nice. Hey, you did well.
Thanks, so did you. That was fun, eh?
It was fun, wasn't it? Sailing is kind of cool, isn't
It's
it?
alright, isn't it? It could be worse.
Yeah, I kind of like sailing.
Would have been nicer with a little more sun.
So at this point now, what we would do is roll credits. You know, to be thanks to this and
And
thanks
then your
to
little
that.
rap will go on.
Yeah, and then what would like hold a little screen out here. Oh, it has the light on.
Yeah.
Oh wow, how did I do that? I'm going to end this recording now.
Is it still
Bye everyone!
Is it still on? See ya!